Hey, my apology. Okay, I know. Life sometimes swamps you up and you get all tangled up and you can't do what you want to do. I'm just for being late. Fam, Niners looking some kind of tough, though. Starting top of your night, 49ers signed CMC to a 2-year extension. Young players showing promise. I know. Every camp in the league, young players are showing promise. There's nothing unusual about young players showing promise. They are when they're on a Super Bowl team, one that's been picked, actually, to win the Super Bowl again. How many times in the last 4 years have we been picked to win the Super Bowl? It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Early in the season, 49ers players may look just like most players around the league, working hard to impress, right? A lot of players in Santa Clara have either shown improvements from last season or rookies are shining very brightly. There are plenty of names to write home about as minicamp ends. Tonight, we'll be doing just that as we breathe a sigh of relief that Christian McCaffrey will be returning for the next 2 seasons. Or not. I mean, if you're not, please explain. So tonight to the phones we're going to go to discuss the current activities and player observations as seen by Bay Area reporters regarding players and your reaction to the CMC 2-year extension. The basic screen right there. There you go. Phone number, PIN number, all you need right there. Get in here. And let's talk some 49ers football. The Niners and CMC agreed to a 2-year extension. That happened on Tuesday, locking them down through the 2027 season. Despite having 2 years remaining on his previous deal, CMC wanted more security after a prolific year and a half in the Bay. And Olivia says, you've got to have more money than that if we're going to have a okay, I'll ask him. But the question is, why pay a bell cow running back into his early 30s, right? Because you know how the running back market already is getting just disrespected like crazy. The answer would be because CMC is only one of one in the NFL. There is not another CMC. Yeah, Derrick Henry is a bad boy. He can't do what CMC does. I mean, he can run through walls and tear people up and do all kinds of things. But CMC can do things that most running backs can only try to do. Dude, he is special. Coach Shanahan said this about Mrs. McCaffrey's baby boy. Christian's one of the most talented people that I have ever been in my life. Huh? Okay. Kyle, really? That's a lot. That's saying a lot. But if I didn't speak about that, I'd say he's almost the biggest overachiever that's been in my life in terms of how obsessive he is with every little thing. And he is, too. Remember that footage we seen of Christian McCaffrey? Everybody in the locker room just milling about the locker room. Christian was sitting there, head down, looking at the program and the playbook and everything else he needs to know to learn Kyle Shanahan's offense, which, by the way, is very difficult for those who don't really get it yet. Man, anybody can run Kyle Shanahan's offense, man. Just get out there and plug and play. Stop it, stupid. Don't talk like that. That's where he's extremely unique, as he goes on to say about Christian. As you get older with age, you'll lose a step or something, and that's not what makes Christian great. He is the same player down in and down out. It's great to have all the talent he has. And he takes good care of his body, as good as anyone. So you don't picture him losing any of that because of number. Speaking of age, of course. But if that stuff does happen, Christian's always going to be a good football player, unquote. Easy to agree with that. Remy, y'all ain't got nothing like that in L.A. No, you don't. Sorry. You tried to get him. You missed. We got him. Later for that, though, the 49ers are firmly in Super Bowl contention. No one knows how long that may last for this current core. Entering the final years of the championship window, maybe 1, 2, 3, who knows? Although, I must say, the way Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, these guys are seriously, some of the things they're doing with money and budgeting and sensibly signing contracts and making you satisfying the player and getting team-friendly deals so that they can continue to stay afloat. I'm impressed with the 49ers. This is why when you call in, man, Kyle, no, I can't do it, Jalen. I can't do it, man. I love you, man. But we got a couple of guys in the front office. Now, I'm not in a hurry to see leave under no circumstances. We may fail to win the Super Bowl every year, but still, come on. The Super Bowl ain't just out there for everybody to win every year. If it was, the same team will be winning every year. So we need to be happy that we get in position to win it. And by gosh, at some point we're going to stop missing. And you know this, but you can't get it if you ain't getting your ass kicked up and down the field for 17 weeks for years after. I mean, how many teams do that? Lots. I don't want to be that. But in order to finally achieve that elusive number 6, they'll need Olivia Culpo's fiance McCaffrey at his best. You got to love the CMC answer for the Super Bowl window being open, though. Quote, I know we got a window this year. It's all focused on this year and taking it one day at a time. That's all you can do. I do worry about these guys. They've been out there for too many years in a row with long seasons. Maybe that's why they're so fun to watch, though, because think about the 49ers. They won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They probably laid back. Yeah, you peak out when you finally, it's you breathe that sigh of relief. You get to the top, got it! I got it! Kick back, relax. I'm going to take a vacation this year like ain't nobody's business. This dude's out eating and drinking and going crazy. His body's falling apart. He comes back the following season. He looks like a shell of what he used to. These things, it's all a vicious cycle. Also, just observing and watching practice beside CMC, George Kittle, Fred Warner, the studs, Pro Bowl. Defensive backs, Talanoa Hufanga, Pro Bowl. Jair Brown, Javarius Ward, Diamador Lenore. Minicamp served as a brief reunion for the Niners star players, many whose bodies are still recuperating from their fourth playoff run in 5 seasons and 7 weeks. They'll return for training camp and a shot at the 49ers' first Lombardi trophy in 30 years. I know, Rudy, you love to point. Yeah, I've been right for 30 years about the 49ers. That guy is so strange. You ain't been right about diddly squat. I know one thing you should be right about. Your Rams ain't did the damn thing in 30 years either. For the most part, you've got 2 trophies in 70 years. You do the math. How bad is that? Talanoa Hufanga. Talanoa is aiming to play in the Niners' season opener. Only 10 months after tearing another anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee, otherwise known as an ACL. God, that's a scary word, isn't it? Anywhere in pro sport, that is a scary sentence. Hufanga doesn't anticipate being fully cleared when training camp opens. He still sounds positive, though, saying, quote, give or take any time, but the goal is to be ready week 1. They'll ramp me up correctly in training camp so they don't just throw me out to the wolves, unquote. Talanoa, see you September 9th. Man, we got communion. Got to have you, man. All right? Get better. Be patient. You'll be all right. Aside from his knee recovery, Big T has been studying film to better familiarize himself with Jair Brown, of whom Talanoa expects to start with. There's something a subject of discussion. Is Jair going to start next to Talanoa, or is there going to be one or the other switched out? Hufanga assumes nothing, though. He is fully aware of the fact that he still must earn his job back. Wednesday's session was special. Talanoa and Jair joined their Hall of Fame GM, John Lynch, and watched from deep in the defensive backfield together as the action took place in front of them as afar. It seems that John Lynch he wants Talanoa to know, unlike last year, where Wilkes had him disciplined all up. All right, man, I want you to play right here, man. Stop all that guessing game stuff you've been doing out there and anticipating before you get smoked and it costs us some big gains. Well, Lynch is telling Talanoa, listen, you get back here and you trust your instincts and you do what you do. You did it well and you earned an all-pro bid for it. And you know what? I want you to get back to it. All right, from back here, you can see what's unfolding in front of you at all times. Go ahead and make that prediction. You know what's good about this, fam? Jair Brown comes out of Penn State with the same resume. These guys are ball hogs. We got 2 back there at safety now. I suspect something special. If Talanoa is healthy, Jair's had a year, and he's already talked about it. The game slowed down for him a little bit already. Talanoa, he will be Talanoa. That's all he can be, as long as Wilkes leaves him alone. As much as Hufanga appreciates Lynch's advice, Brown's presence was also appreciated. Talanoa said this about Jair, quote, I want to know how Tig, they call Jair Tig. Tig thinks and looks at stuff. At school, he came back there today to see how he looks at things. So as they were sitting back there observing, and I'm sure John was asking questions, guys, what do you see, man? What would you do on this play? All right? Huh? And then, of course, they said what they do. Sounds good to me. I can just see it. Aaron Branks said something about Brock Purdy. Big AB says Brock Purdy's given off a feel of a more assertive role in the huddle and locker room, continuing saying, quote, Brock came in with a certain confidence and swag that you see in a leader. I'm excited to see what Brock puts off this year. He's confident to take a leadership role, but his demeanor hasn't changed as far as his work ethic. It's been the same from day one to now, unquote. Fam, you know, here's the thing. Here is the kiss, the endorsement. Grant Cohn went on and nothing but positives about Brock P. You know he never does that. So when he does that, it is special. He said Brock Purdy's doing things out there that he never seen Kyle Shanahan allow anybody to do. He never seen it from Jimmy, never seen it from Kaepernick. He never seen it from anybody. Brock's out there doing things like they may run a long play downfield and Brock doesn't like it. He'll come peel off out of that and throw it to somebody close by. And, I said, oh, yeah, all right. Kyle might be doing some of the things we've been asking him to do or wishing he would do for a long time. Let that quarterback help you, Kyle. He's a quarterback. You're a wide receiver coach. He knows what he's doing if you just allow him to do it. Have confidence. He may not let you down. I'm expecting a good football season from Brock Purdy this year. I cannot wait. Warner's endorsements. Second-year linebacker D. Winters drew high praise from Fred, who said, quote, D's had the best OTAs out of anybody on the team. Let me repeat that. D's had the best OTAs out of anybody on the team. He's come along. As a rookie, he was struggling to learn plays and get shape. He's come in this year and began on it, making plays left and right. He set himself up to have a great training camp. And with Dre hanging out, I understand Dre's running out of the field. He forgot his leg hurts. Dre's running all out in the field, screaming and hollering, praising D. I said, I love about the camaraderie about this 49er locker room. Winners mostly played on the second string defense in offseason workouts, while Demetrius Flanagan Foles, Devondre Campbell, Curtis Robinson with the first string unit. And a bit about Dre from Fred is that he's checking on daily on Dr. G with his Achilles recovery. Fred added about this, his man-at-arms companion. He said, quote, it gets lonely rehabbing a serious injury like that. Obviously, he's still a huge part in what we do, unquote. By the way, good news for Fred, too. While he didn't participate in spring practice, he said his knees did not require platelet-rich plasma injections for this first offseason in years. Freddie, was that you said you're aging like fine wine? Sounds good to me, bro. Make sure it's a nice stout Merlot. I do like Merlot. Sorensen talks takeaways. DC Nick Sorensen led ball meetings the past 2 seasons that emphasized takeaways, and now he's handing that job to Brandon Staley, on whom we all had this huge fear of. But the former Chargers coach, who's now the assistant head coach and seemingly a roaming mentor to all on defense, could be that Staley football is already having an impact, fam. The Niners defenders almost made a couple of interceptions Wednesday, and Sorensen said such near takeaways are not ignored, specifically saying, quote, I used to call it house rules and for the offense, too. Growing up in my house, my pop said, if it touches your hands, you've got to catch it. We have the same mentality for our whole team. Sorensen's first string defense Wednesday was missing a number of potential and or past starters, like defensive linemen like the perennial one, Nick Bosa. Malik, am I pronouncing that? Malik? I'm going to call him Malik. Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, Drake Jackson, and linebackers Warner and Dre Greenlaw. You know, they'll be back. And those near misses them people are missing, they're coming out there now. They're just trying to get their feet into the NFL and that type of thing. The guys I just mentioned, they won't miss it. You know, fam, Logan Thomas, I'm feeling real good about that. If there's one signing, this may be the one, fam. Niners, this is Monday, the Niners address that huge need by signing Logan from Washington, tight end. He's 32 years old. I don't have a problem with that. To a 1-year deal. Thomas is a 10-year veteran. The player had 55 receptions for 496 yards and 4 touchdowns last season in Washington. What's he going to do for us? I'm boosting that right now to 700 yards. All right, because George Kittle is going to have a 1,000-yard season. Damn it, he's got to. I'm tired of watching everybody. Ooh, look at Travis Kelce. He's so good. He's a great football player. He's got Super Bowl trophies. He's going out with Tay-Tay. Don't you wish you could grow up and be like Travis Kelce? God. Logan, let the youngsters at that position continue to cultivate. Let's go. I smell another championship. I just hope these guys can hold up, though. Realistically, I worry about them being out there for 4 years or 5 years in a row. It's just really a lot of time to be busting butt, get hit hard. You ain't got Frank out there giving you fish sandwiches on the sideline that get your strength back up. Frank!
Well, Mo, what's up with you?
Frank, man, I'm just, it's almost time to get serious. The Warriors going to take a break. They'll be back. And when they do come back, it's on, baby. From that point on, it's time. Frank, CMC, we got him for 2 more years. Aiyuk is still not happy running around out there. Yeah, I can't play. I just came out here to say hello, y'all. I ain't got my money yet. So Aiyuk's still out there doing that. People are now saying things like, Ricky Pearsall could be good enough that 49ers can't tell Aiyuk, look, you can play this year or not. But we ain't addressing this situation until next year. Frank, what are your thoughts on some of this madness that's going on?
Yeah, I know. I'm in handle rack of madness, Ronbo. I heard it. What's it? Mike Mayo, what's his name? Mike
Miyako.
Yeah, Miyako. He was saying that they might, he might try to force Aiyuk to play on his, that fifth year option.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't like it though, Ronbo, man. Like,
I don't either.
The man never get injured. He always on the. But see, I don't understand why we wait so long, man, to pay our players.
Every year.
Like, I don't understand, man, because you ain't doing that with just raising, the mark. You just raising the price higher and higher.
I mean, JJ got the money out there so far that nobody can afford to sign a receiver now.
You just sitting back watching. The next wide receiver get paid. Boom. The price just gonna continue to go up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know what they expect to do, Ron. But to be honest, I don't even know. But I hope
they're so far apart
now
in that deal. I heard that the distance between the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk is like driving from California to New York City.
Yeah, so that's not good, man. But I don't know. I just gotta wait to see how it playing out. Right now it's practice. So of course anybody will look good. So I just want to see how it's gonna translate when the bullets really get to flying. You know what I'm saying? Live action when week 1 starts when we play the Jets. Then I want to see what everybody raving about in practice. I want to see it on the field when we play our opponent.
You won't have to wait that long. So, we're gonna see it before that too.
I mean, or even preseason. Preseason we'll see. Little flashes here and there. So I'm just waiting for that. I'm excited for the season to come, and I just want to see, practice. Yeah, of course, we're going to hear this person look good, this person look good. But I want to see it when it's live action. That's when I want to see it. So that's all. But also, what you think about, I want to shout out to, what's his name, Malik, what's his last name? Safety. We drafted. Malik, Mustafa. Yeah, I want to shout out to his mom. And a funny story, Ronbo. His mom, she just got a divorce.
Oh no.
She was married for 48 years, Ronbo. 48 years. But now, guess what? This is the kicker. She was married for 48 years to the Dallas Cowboys. So she posted, she finally divorced them, and now she put the Facebook.
Had to be in the first half.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron.
My mom said, what? I never did like little Cowboys anyway. My son played for the Niners.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah.
Mom, welcome to the Bay, Mom.
Get on your moms. You be all right. We'll take good care of you.
I love that story, bro. I love that story. That was cool, man. She was married 48 years, and she finally getting a divorce, man. I said it was so awesome to hear that, man.
Well,
man,
we just got to stop clowning around and letting these weak-kneed teams. I mean, I'm not calling it the Chiefs weak-kneed, but they didn't have a roster that looked like the 49ers roster. They just got to break. And we got to stop that from happening. Frank, I don't know how to stop that. You can't coach that. You can't change coaches to help that. Bad luck and fate is always hanging around. It always is. It's always going to win. The hell we lose that game. Don't make no sense.
You see, Mooney Ward said on his press conference, you know, he said we had the better talented players on our team, but
Everybody
they had
knows.
the best players. But that's the difference, though. They had the best player, you know, at the position.
Yeah, but
you know, on their team.
But if we don't,
Patrick Mahomes.
And the ball don't hit Junior, they can have him all they want to.
Yeah.
They're going to lose that game.
So let me ask you something. Well, let me ask you something, Wallo. If we make it somehow, we make it to the Super Bowl again, and it's a failure, what you think should happen? Faithful to fans, everybody, y'all, my brothers and sisters, everybody that's listening to you, I want to know what y'all think should happen. If we make it to the Super Bowl again and we lose, you think we should keep Cal or walk away or what? What you think?
See, Frank, I can't justify firing a Super Bowl coach. Some people can, but I can't see him going to the Super Bowl every year, and then fire him because he didn't win it. That's too big a stage. I want you to get there, and I'm hoping you'll win it.
Well, but if we'll be the Buffalo Bills, though, Ronbo. But you got to look at Andy Reid, though. Andy Reid took the Philly. They was in the NFC Championship like every year. I think they made the Super Bowl once, and they never won. He kept getting them there. Yeah. He could never get over the hump, so he got to Kansas City. And he got his guy.
Madden had the same story. Some of the greatest coaches in NFL history, they got there a number of times and failed. It's just not easy to win that thing. What I really wish, though, is some of the bad luck. Teams aren't beating the 49ers. Luck and refs. And I don't care what anybody says about the refs holding.
Luck, though, Ronbo. I don't think so much is luck. I think it's so much as Cal and his arrogance. You know, him being arrogant and just think he makes stuff. It's Cal. You know, sometimes you can't just be stuck in a box, man, and just want to do things how you want it. Like it's simple, Ronbo. Run the ball. Well, if the person fumble, don't mean you got to put him in the doghouse and don't let him touch the ball again.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? A lot of it be Cal, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to say it's bad luck. It's just call the game how you see it, Cal. If you know that they can't stop, you scheme against everything. You're a great schemer. So if you know they can't stop the run the ball. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it's just simple. But he don't do it. He shy away from that. That's the thing. He shy away from that.
You still need to add some diversity. If you run the ball and everybody knows you're only going to run the ball, well, they can muscle up and get ready for that. You've got to keep that defense guessing to some degree. You cannot be actually completely predictable on every snap because they'll come up with ways to stop you. So, I understand what everybody's saying about the run the ball. But we're going to be passing the ball a lot this next year. So we all need to get ready for that because we got the receivers we need to use, and it's going to enhance the run game as well. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, but you need BA to be a part of that, though. But you don't, he's not showing up to many. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, we need BA to be a part of that. We can't put all our faith in rookie.
No. But
he's a rookie.
But you got to take a look.
So who knows if he's gonna come out and dominate?
You're right. You got to take a look, Frank. You got to take a look. First, you got to see, and if he can't do it, okay, then you have to resort to you got to do what you got to do. You got to run the ball more. But if they can handle the passing game, you still got George Kittle out there. Debo can still do what Debo does. You can't just rely completely on the run. You got to let Brock work his stuff.
But he used Kittle as a run blocker.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's Cal. Kittle should be eating, Ronbo. Kittle should be like another Kelsey. Getting that ball.
That's why
it's Cal.
It is, but they got to find Frank. They got to find somebody else to block. Kittle's your best blocker. You can't have him going out on passes when the quarterback's laying on his back all game long. You got to have him out there for that. And the run game's got to be productive as well. So George Kittle and Kyle and us are all in a painful circle of, oh, man, why? Because there's many reasons. But we'll see.
Yeah. But the thing is, you need to invest in a lineman, offensive lineman. So, I mean, it's a lot. We can go on and on, man.
Yeah,
but...
Let's
shout out
see
to you, Ronbo.
All right, fam. let's see what Purdy looks like this year, and let's see what Logan looks like. I'm not sure if he's famous for block, but we'll see what happens. They're trying.
Yeah,
We'll
we
see.
definitely gonna see. But you know, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Faithful, my man Ellis, Big Show, Papa Dragon, Chill, Pill, Phil, all y'all. I love all y'all. I know I might forget some names, man, but you know I love all y'all.
They know how you
man.
feel,
So,
right?
just shout out to everybody, man. Hey, Fifth Sandwich, be back, baby. Get ready, y'all.
Good. There too, Frank. I'll be back tomorrow. I missed yesterday, so I'll be back
All right,
tomorrow.
Ronbo.
All right, fam.
Okay, all right, Ronbo.
Right,
Appreciate
Fred.
you. Okay.
Appreciate you. Also, Luna says Taylor Swift a bad bleep. They wanted KC to win that for Taylor. She brings a lot of money to the NFL. I'm very convinced that is the case, even though it's just outrageous. But it's got to be true because they just held. It's just chat. Heard people that don't know but talking about Swift. Perfect ending. Thanks, All-Star Luna, for that contribution. Big Show might be right. It might be right, although I got a feeling it won't be. Somebody's going to still make a deal for Deebo Samuel. A lot of people think that may happen. I don't know. Steven, that's going to be music to Steven's ears if they're getting rid of Deebo. Steven and the Bambinos. Sounds like a rock group. Steven? Is that really David Hodge? Doesn't talk like David.
Hey, Ronbo, can you come back to me?
Okay. And we go, Aaron. Aaron, give us a little bit, Aaron. Give us a little bit. You got a lot of things going on. Anything that sticks out in your mind in particular? CMC, Brandon Aiyuk, is Ricky Pearsall the heir apparent that could have the 49ers in a position where they can say things like, listen, Brandon, we love you. We want you to stay with us, but listen, you're going to have to indulge with us just a little further on this matter. Now, we're going to pay you if you've got the patience to wait until next season. We need you to go out there. But, all right, hey, wait a minute, coach. Stop right there. No, I ain't talking. If that happens, we got a problem. Because no matter what anybody says, Brandon Aiyuk is wide receiver one. You need him. Make no mistake. You can't just do without him. I like Ricky Pearsall. But listen, you talk. What are you thinking here? And about CMC?
Yeah, first of all, CMC got that contract extension for 2 more years. So,
yep.
And also, I think it adds the cap space every 4 years, I think.
Cap space. No, cap space is that expands every year.
Oh, wow.
You said cap space.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends on how much money the league makes every year. See, the cap expanded really large this year, in part due to Taylor Swift's effect on the league and bringing in Swifties from everywhere who didn't even. What? Where is Taylor's? Her boyfriend plays football? What is that? Why don't you come and check it out first, and then we'll see. And meanwhile, the numbers are going up for NFL fans. But yeah, it could be really, yeah.
But yeah, and now I think we have the seven highest cap space.
I thought we were third. Well, maybe unless somebody else increased, I thought we were third. Yeah, maybe. I thought we were third though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's 7, but
we had 32. That's 24 hours ago. But go ahead.
But yeah, from what I read, from what I heard yesterday, that Brock Purdy is, taking command of this offense. Like he's the leader now.
Large and in charge. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's And it's been in him a whole time. People mistake Brock Purdy rehabbing over a whole offseason and coming in just barely getting over an injury for who Brock Purdy really is. And I knew that was ridiculous. I said, come on, man, how many times have you hurt your arm that bad and came back a few months later and made it to the NFL? And largely due to part of your contributions as a quarterback. Come on, come on, come on. Haters are very strange people. Nick Wright, yeah, I'm talking about you, you idiot. But go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, but yeah, yeah, yeah. From what I think yesterday, they said Ricky Pearsall looks good yesterday.
He's been looking good every day. Ricky Pearsall's been out there holding a clinic. He did get held down by some of our first string defenders, but he'll grow. He'll grow as long as him and Brock continue to build chemistry. We'll see.
Yeah, and also they said Braden Willis looks pretty good, so he's. I think he's gonna have a pretty good impact on this offense.
Braden, yeah, we'll see how many snaps he gets. Kyle just brought in Logan Thompson, so I don't know. Logan's probably going to assume that second spot.
Oh, I forgot about Logan Thomas.
Yeah, the two tight end sets might be back. And now
I think he's like 6'6",
6'5".
And he's a really good pass catcher.
Pline is 6'6", right? Yeah, well, anyway, they're both huge targets.
Yeah, I think Logan Thomas could be a solid tight end too. Like, he's tall, he has good hands.
10 years experience.
I mean, I don't know about his blocking though.
Yeah, nobody's hooping and hollering about his blocking either. Hey, said he's big, 10 years experience last year, 500 yards on 55 receptions. The guy can play. I'll see. Made me grin. I said, oh. We've been looking for something like this for a long time. We had it a few years ago, but he got hurt at the beginning of the season, and then George got hurt. They were both out. One was in, one was out. It was just awful. Was that the 2020 season? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Jordan Reed.
Yeah, that's him. Jordan got hurt right away. And no, first Jordan was out there for a couple of weeks. And, of course, we lost George. And then Jordan went down and George came back. I said, how come we can't get both these guys on the field at the same time? Why? It's just not meant to be? Oh, not again. So let's see what happens this time.
Yeah, and and also I think Fred Warner had high praise for D. Winters.
Huge. Says he's the best, having the best camp of anybody out there. Now, he didn't mix any words with that. He said the best camp of anybody out here has been D. Winters. Whoa.
That's very interesting. And and also our defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen said he likes Darrell Luter and Renardo Green.
I mean, every time he talks, he's beaming when he talks about Green and loves Green. Well, we're gonna run out of time on this. I'll be back tomorrow though. No, wait. I will be on time. All right, Aaron. Let me see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, fam. Have a good night, Ronbo.
Appreciate you, fam. Night, Aaron. Yeah, I can't wait to see Renardo Green. They say Renardo Green is doing a number. I mean, really doing a number. Stays got that dog, D-A-W-D. Bring him Eddie's chill pill. Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Phil. Oh, here we are.
Ronald Green is not going to start.
No, he's just looking good. I just need him to look good right now.
I think Yadam is going to start.
No doubt.
It's going to be Diamador Lenore, and then Moody.
Javarius.
And then you're going to bring in Yadam on the outside and move Diamador Lenore inside when we need a nickel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are all polished.
That's what's going to happen.
I don't doubt it. These guys are, they're all polished.
Kyle never starts rookies. Okay? Have you ever seen it?
Never start. You may come in and replace somebody, but he hates it. He didn't even want Jair out there last year, remember?
I mean, Banks sat out the whole first year, even though he was a second-round pick. So, I mean, Kyle never starts rookies. So just, no.
Sorensen loves him, though. I mean, Sorensen gets real all crazy when he talks about him. It's funny.
Well, of course. He was a high-round draft pick.
Yeah.
They're always going to gloat over their draft picks.
Well, yeah, he's doing it, too. It's hilarious.
But when it comes down to it, they start the veterans.
He does. I mean, Sorensen talks to him like he's got a man crush on him. It's hilarious.
And Yadam was one of the best corners in the league last year, statistically.
Yeah.
About after he took what's his name, the Stanford guy from the Saints, took his place because he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yadam was one of the best defensive players.
And the Saints let him go.
Back.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Roy K., while you're talking all that gibberish and smack, call on in here. You know the number? Call on here. People are still trying to get rid of Kyle Shanahan. Phil, address that. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about folks that say that, but I'm just wondering. You get rid of Kyle Shanahan, then who do you get? What do you expect from that person?
You got nothing.
Tell me, man. I tell you, that's why I keep saying,
I mean,
man,
Kyle's the best coach in the NFL, period. Because he hasn't won a Super Bowl, you're going to hold that against him?
Been in the NFC CG.
Look at, what's his name from Kansas City? It took him 13 years to win a Super Bowl.
Got Super Bowl king, win it. Get him out of here. Dude, take some aspirin. Lay down. Call me in the morning. This is the thing. The Super Bowl is not an everyday game.
Until we got Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Now he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I know. They get a lot of lucky breaks, though. Phil, I hate to whine about that, but good God. Refs? You ever see that clip of Kyle Shanahan yelling at the referee? Listen, what they do is they hold and they grab and let go, and you guys miss it. I just want you to call it the same way on both sides. I said, Kyle, why do you have to even have that conversation with that idiot?
They got turnover breaks last year.
Oh.
McCaffrey fumbling? That never happened.
That too.
And they got a muff punt. Hello? Those were that was the game.
That has nothing to do with the coach. These are the things I'm talking about. When you spotlight, if the coach is out there making boneheaded plays and calls, okay. But he can't stop McCaffrey from fumbling. McCaffrey's responsible for that.
Yeah. He doesn't do it very often. So it's like a freak.
That's the thing. You got to trust him.
But anyway, Ronbo, I'm glad we signed Christian. I'm glad we signed Christian in 2 more years.
Yeah.
Because he's got 4 years in him. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I got to work. He keeps care of himself too well.
As far as Aiyuk goes, you're going to sign him. It just comes down to when, both sides feel pressure.
Big Show.
Right?
Big Show, that was for you. Big Show, I got this running dialogue on Twitter.
I've got a lot of shit with Big Show. So anyway.
I'm down.
No, I mean, and then we've got the best wide receiver room in football. We've got the best running back room in football. We've got the best tight end room now.
Actually, right?
I mean, George Kittle, I think, is better than Kelsey because he blocks.
He's an all-around.
And I think
tight end. Agreed.
If you have a second tight end like we got, that was a huge signing.
Logan?
And so I think our tight end room is far better.
And see
We've
that
got
you
probably the best defensive back room.
Oh, like we've never had.
Football.
Oh.
With Dre being, coming in around week 5, week 6, who knows how it's going to be. I'm worried about the linebackers, even though Fred's the best in the league.
Yeah.
Defensive line, I think we got better. We got better.
That's what I can't wait to see. I want to see how Malik looks. If he can look anything like Armstead when Armstead was healthy, we're in Fat City. I agree.
Well, with Floyd too, he's 10 sacks.
I'm not even worried about Floyd, Phil. I'm confident about him. Oh God, yes.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be opposite of Bosa. Okay.
And we're back to playing like we
Good
used
luck
to.
with that. Ronbo, I think we're a better team than we were last year.
That's been said a few times.
And
too.
last year we were the best team on paper.
Yes.
Is it good to be a 49er fan?
It is glorious.
I mean, seriously. God, help us.
I mean, who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Oh man.
All
right, Ronbo. I'm on my pedestal, so
I'm tell you what, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. So Phil, I'll be looking for you, man. What I want to talk about tomorrow is gonna make everybody mad, but I can't wait to talk about it.
The reason I didn't call in for a while is because I was hiking the John Muir Trail.
How'd that go?
I'm old.
I've not been up to Muir
But
Woods.
it was fun.
It is
beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
Oh, but I did half of it, so I did 50 some odd miles.
Ooh,
And
Phil,
in 5 days, and it was just with a 40-pound pack on my back.
Oh, why'd you do that, Bill? Well, you got to king about some things you have to have. Okay.
Yeah, well, it was a bucket list thing. So,
yeah.
I'm doing bucket list. I'm at that age where I'm doing bucket list things.
Well, you go, Phil. I like that idea. Take on big challenges. Oh. All right. Next on that list is watch the 49ers win a Super Bowl.
I made it. I'm alive.
Congratulations. All right.
And I had a good time with my buddies that went with me. And so anyway, I'm back. I'm back at 49er Central.
Good.
And let's go. We got another year.
Yes, indeed. Let's do it. All right. See you tomorrow, Phil. Rest up. Be ready for tomorrow. All right. Okay. Night, fam.
Take care.
Wow.
All right.
Phil did
Bye.
that. 50. Wow. Steven and the Bambinos.
Ronbo!
Steven.
Hey. I'm glad I got a call after Phil, because I'm a rain on everything right now.
You can rain on everything. Phil, you sound like you're talking out of a can again. You're in the car, right?
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's okay, but I mean,
Here.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, is this better?
Oh, yeah. You got rid of that tinny sound.
All
right.
Good. Okay, so I'm glad I got to call after Phil, because I'm about to rain on a lot of stuff right now that you guys were just talking about.
It's all yours.
I mean, I'm not really just talking shit just to talk shit. I mean, I'm speaking hypothetical facts, because we just signed CMC to a lucrative deal for 2 years. We signed JJ for another 2 years, right? Brandon Aiyuk is going to want to be possibly the highest paid wide receiver in that room. We have him for one more year on his contract, Ronbo, before we pay him big money.
Or not.
We also signed we also drafted 2 wide receivers, Pearsall and Cohen. I don't know if you see it. I don't know if a lot of people see it. But I think the Niners are hoping to do away with Debo and B.A.
I'm putting the writing on the wall right now, even as you speak. Debo.
Yeah, I mean, look at it from an actual broad perspective, and you'll see that the Niners are okay with if Pearsall is as good as people think he is, or as good as Kyle leads the crowd on to be, and Cowling does a phenomenal job, then, I mean, we can say goodbye to B.A. and say goodbye to Debo, because B.A., for what it is, he's a workhorse. I get it. He's great. But he doesn't have that pull the way CMC does. CMC is a plug-and-play kind of player, and he does great wherever he goes, no matter what team. Look at where he came from. B.A., I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. And if you hate me too, I get it. B.A. is the product of the system. Well, I'll tell you right now, B.A. is the product of the system that Kyle Shanahan created around him. If we were to let him go right now, if he were to go to, let's say, Green Bay or the Chiefs, he would not do well. He would not do well. He is a wide receiver who had to be molded and cracked into playing Kyle Shanahan's offense. And to relinquish that kind of style of play with another team that doesn't play that same offense, he will struggle. And he will pretty much look like every other good wide receiver that started off good and ended bad with another team. So, it seems like I'm shitting on BA, but it's just a fact. He is a byproduct. He is a product of Kyle Shanahan's system. And if he were to go anywhere else, he would struggle. And
okay, but Stephen, here's the thing.
ahead.
He is on this team. And his function is to do what he does, and he does it well. So the point I would make to counter that is that since he does do what he does for us in a very good high level, you probably don't measure him in this way. If you're thinking about keeping him or not. I'm not worried about what he's going to do on another team. I'm only worried about what he does with this team, and what he does is he makes this offense kind of whole. No. He's not kind of whole. He makes it whole. Now defenses have to do what they do in order to try to stop the 49ers.
Here's my counter-argument for that, Ronbo.
That doesn't work.
Here's my counter-argument for that.
All right.
So, yes, he does make the team whole. So does Debo Samuel, right? They both make the team whole. One can't have one without the other. And it's shown. Problem is, though, is that attitude in the locker room is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it seems like Debo and Aiyuk have that attitude to where, they get the ball, and if they don't get the ball, they talk about it, and they make it known that they're talking about it. Who was the last wide receiver that did that with the Niners, Ronbo? Last well-known wide receiver.
Did Crabtree do that?
Crabtree did do that.
T.O. did that? No, T.O. didn't do that. They gave him the ball. That's something.
Well, they had no option.
Yeah.
They had no option but to give it to T.O. And if he didn't get it on a play, he would let everyone hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all I could think of. Was I right on that? Was it Crabtree?
Yeah, no, you're right. It was Crabtree. And look what happened. He went somewhere else and flatlined. He went to the Raiders and flatlined. It's like
they kept pulling on his chain, Steven. You can't pull a man's chain.
Hey, don't wear a chain if you don't want to get yanked. Fourth 101. Why do you think a lot of players don't have really much long hair no more?
I mean,
too easy.
The hair is one thing, but why are you wearing jewelry? Of course you're going to pull that. I would. And then get up and start fighting.
I 100% would.
Yeah.
I'd snatch that shit and walk it off the field. Like, oh, yeah, that's mine. Tonight, that is mine.
Who was that defender? I forgot his name, but he was. I didn't especially like him, but he was hilarious. He knew that's what.
I'll be real with you.
Literally yanked Crabtree's chain and made him crazy angry. I think they both got thrown out of that in one game. But yeah.
Oh, they did. I don't think the Niners are going to sign BA this year. I just don't see it. They're too far in between in contracts.
And unfortunately, if BA.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't see them signing, but if BA ends up sitting out the first couple of games, he's only hurting his worth.
Hey, he doesn't get paid. Listen, by the way, BA's fines are going to get underway. I think they already got underway. If he misses all in minicamp, he's going to owe a fortune, and you don't have any money coming in. The 49ers know it's unfortunately it's mean, but all the fair is love, business, and you know what else. I mean, it's the way it is.
All is fair, love and war, man. And if BA wants to go that route the way see, the problem is that Debo got in his head, and the reason why Debo got paid the way he did was because he was our only option, because at that time BA was in the doghouse. So we had no idea what kind of potential BA had. Now that we see it, it's already kind of too late because he already shot himself in the foot, with being in the doghouse with Kyle. So it's like, yeah, you can do this, but can you do it again? I don't think the Niners want to relive a situation with Debo. Like, oh, great, you outperformed everybody, but we gave you this lucrative contract, and now you're doing what?
Mediocre football and not working out and taking plays off. Steven, good stuff. And add you to the Big Show list of no, BA will not be returning. let me see you tomorrow,
but
okay?
I mean, it's the truth. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, Ronbo.
Looking forward to it, Steven. Give my best to all the family. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, God. BA. I love the way this club is forming. It's getting bigger, too. There he is. From the blue waters of Hawaii, he is Tony Nagatani. Tony!
Aloha, Ronbo. Thank you for that fanfare. I appreciate it. How you doing?
Doing great, But Tony, the season hasn't started yet. There's no stress yet. It's just fun, speculating, watching things unfold. So, nothing to get mad about. If we're in week 5 or week 6 or something, Tony, I don't know, man. Just the thing is, we're not getting anywhere here, and this is not the season I anticipated. And I don't know what we're going to do here. People are going to try to fire, you can start whining like we do, or like I do. But Tony, give me some observations from where you're sitting on just about everything. I don't need to enlighten you on anything. What are you thinking here?
I don't know, Ronbo. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's lying season, but it's sort of doldrum season as far as 49ers news. Now we have actual things to talk about. I mean, the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp. So there is actual football to talk about, which is great. But in between the football, we're treated to these press conferences by people who are just saying things because they're forced to contractually. Yep. And so a lot of times. A lot of half truths or things just sort of come out of people's mouths and half truths and opinions. So
just call it what it is, Tony. Out and out lies. Yeah. Sometimes,
and sometimes they're strategic lies, and sometimes they're just people being forced to talk and saying something, and there are interesting things that are said too that we can begin to gleam into. But the most important thing to follow is the beat reporters who are there at the actual practices and getting a look at the teams. And so, that's kind of where the most important information comes from. And, it's the offseason. Everyone is full of optimism, which is always exciting. And I like what I'm hearing for the most part from camp, from mini camp and from OTAs, everything except for the Brandon Aiyuk drama. But, all in all, the Niners are having, I'd say a fairly decent offseason with the extension of Jawan Jennings and giving CMC some more guaranteed money and extending him out for 2 more years. So he'll retire a 49er, and should he go to the Hall of Fame, he'll probably go to the Hall of Fame as a 49er, which is pretty cool. But it's as of right now, the problems are still the problems. I will say the team appears to be deeper at every position except for defensive line and linebacker. Although I think there is some hope, especially in the linebacking core. The thing that has me most worried, aside from the offensive line, the thing that has me most worried is that defensive line in the middle, not on the edges. I think that the pass rush is going to get home this year because of the edge defenders. But what I worry about is honestly, really good head coaches, like your Matt LaFleur's, like your Andy Reid's, and we play them both this season, I believe, looking at our defensive line and saying, hey, we can run up the middle on the 49ers because they don't got Armstead and that anymore. But, I hope they can prove me wrong. But I just, that's my concern. On the other hand, they like the cupboard is stocked with defensive backs. So and with the new defensive coordinator being a like a secondary, having a background in the secondary, and also with the reports of him calling a lot more like a nickel and safety blitzes, those sorts of things. I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more coverage sacks this year, and also like what is that term that someone was talking about a few weeks ago? Simulated pressures, I believe it was, but essentially what we used to call in the 1990s the zone blitz. Where they drop a linebacker and bring drop a defensive edge and bring a safety on the other side, like that sort of stuff. I'm excited to see what the defense is looking like, even though I'm worried about the interior run defense. But
they're a little faster though. I think some of the guys have got on the interior now a little faster, and it requires speed. You can't be a slow foot interior lineman. And I look at the guys they got now. I don't know about Malik. Do you know anything about him?
Malik Mustafa?
Malik Mustafa, yeah. No, not him. The guy that we got over from the Texans, an interior lineman, to take over Eric Armstead's spot. I don't know how good he is, but those guys have got to close that gap. And that's why an offensive linemen are beating them to the punch all the time, and that's why the run game was just so effective last year for other teams, I think.
Yeah, well, especially down the stretch. Down the stretch, I mean, that defense, I mean, I don't know. Like, I had a problem with last year's defense from week one, even though, I mean, we won all those games early in the season, but at the end of every single half, like clockwork, Steve Wilkes' defense gave up a long touchdown. And it was every single week, was, and that to me was like, oh, what's going on? Then as we got further and further into the season, we saw teams being able to run on us, and we almost lost those 2 playoff games because our run defense could not stop anybody, and it was terrible. We got lucky, honestly, getting through those games, and then finally Kyle Shanahan steps in for the Super Bowl, and that defense sort of began to look like it was. In the previous seasons with D'Amico, but then unfortunately the CMC fumble and the weird Ray Muff, and and here we are crying into our tequilas, and so it's that all is what it is. But I think also the BA situation, I'm not concerned about it from an X's and O's standpoint. Because without Brandon Aiyuk, the 49ers have a very deep wide receiver room. It won't be as good if BA holds out till week 10 or whatever it is that he can hold out into without accruing that season. But it would be nice to have the wide receiver one and really be firing on all cylinders. But I don't think not having Brandon Aiyuk is going to affect the offense all that much, because the offense goes through Christian McCaffrey. And so we still have Debo. The concern without Brandon Aiyuk is having that guy who can line up on the line of scrimmage, and beat press man coverage, and he right now is the guy who does that best for us, and very consistently. And at the same time, BA needs to get paid because he's definitely performed. And honestly, I wish if he is this discontent and the Niners waited too long to re-sign him, watching all the other contracts just happen, and now they're really between a rock and a hard place. They should have traded him or Debo before the draft. Is what it comes down to.
Why play this game? If you're not going to sign him, just get rid of him then.
Yeah.
I totally now you agree. Put yourself in a hole.
Yeah. I don't think the Niners expected the wide receivers to all sign so quickly. But they started signing. But that Amon-Ra St. Brown deal happened, and then all the teams that had wide receivers up began signing their guys, and then capped off with the Justin Jefferson thing. And
except
now,
for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're screwed. And so now it's like, does Aiyuk get traded to the Steelers? That's what I'm hearing. I mean, is that what happens?
Steelers are confident with their people are talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want him back. I want him back because he's ready. He run blocks, and he's
hard.
He's the X, he's that guy on the team. But at the same time, Niners are deep at wide receiver. They drafted 2, and so they can get by without an X much more readily than they can get by without a running back. But at the end of the day, the offensive line is still the question mark. So let's see how Purdy does, and let's see what happens all there. So I don't know, but what do you think about all that?
I appreciate every word you said is absolutely true. And as I said earlier, though, when you said the 49ers didn't anticipate, I said the 49ers have no business at this point in their careers, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, to anticipate anything. They've been through they've been through hell and back behind making decisions that were questionable. They should have learned from that. You don't wait. Every year we've seen people get signed, even before Nick got signed. Didn't an edge rusher get paid mad money? I forgot who it was. But I said, oh, Niners, what'd you expect? Everybody's going to wait for you to sign, Nick? And now they did the same thing with Brandon Aiyuk. What did you guys think they were going to do? Most people know, sign your boy now before the next guy gets his and the standard is moved up. Oh, they don't seem to even notice that, Tony. I don't get that.
Exactly. Well, they did it once with Greenlaw. They did it wisely with Greenlaw. But aside from there, you look at the Eagles. Didn't they preemptively extended Devonta Smith? I think it was Devonta Smith because they know his deal's coming up, and they were like, we're going to push this out, and they were smart to do it.
I didn't know about that. See, that's what I call intelligent. What's the GM's name over there? I've always been
Howie. Yeah.
He's really Rose. Yeah, the guy's brilliant. He makes great picks every year. Everybody's always talking about him having the best draft.
The only problem with the Eagles is that their head coach is a clown, but their coordinators are really good, so they're going to mask up that clowning by Sirianni. But anyway, that's the Eagles.
Tony, always a pleasure, Tony. Just can't get enough of you. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow if you got time. All right.
Gonna do my best, Ronbo. I always do. All right. Take care. Aloha.
Appreciate you, Tony. Aloha. Bye. There he goes. And what do we got here? We got Harold McAllister says, sign BA right now. This is our year. Ooh la la. Harold, thanks. It's actually the contribution. The last 2 years have been our year. This is really bizarre how the 49ers find ways to lose. It just doesn't make. We shouldn't have lost to the Rams. We damn sure shouldn't have lost to the Eagles. With the Chiefs, both times, those were uncalled for. Okay, you know what? Let me go to Papa Dragon. I can calm down while he's talking and making lots of sense. Let me go out now to Tennessee and go to the Dragon Clan and say, Papa, can you come out and play?
Let's go!
Pop, we got to stop having this. We got to stop having this conversation at this time every year. We got this time, man. You know what? We ain't going back there. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Shh.
No, that's you. That's you. You do it.
You knew better, huh?
I tell you, what do I say? I'm not worried about the Super Bowl right now. I'm worried about the Jets. That's what I'm worried about.
Smart.
Let's beat the Jets. Okay? If you beat the Jets, then we got to worry about the next week after that.
Take it 1 week at a time.
Right? Because you just increased your level of heartbreak, Ronbo.
I know.
Increase your level of heartbreak.
Pain.
It is not just heartbreak. You sound like a sore loser of a political campaign.
Yep,
Ronbo. That's what you sound like. You blaming everybody else.
It was rigged.
Except yourself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think I have said that.
Sometimes you get beat. Sometimes you flat out get beat. And it's just the way it is. You can be the best team in the league and you still lose.
Yes.
That's how the NFL goes. That's why you can't make mistakes. And that's why I call it like I see it. Yeah. No matter what happened, out of all the gaffes in that football game, the turnovers, the bad coaching decisions, they still lost by 3 points. They still lost by 3 points. After all that,
one mistake
they
less.
still only lost by 3 points in overtime.
Yes.
In overtime. Okay? And it's like the 49ers are the Harlem Globetrotters, and we just got beat by the Generals. That's what happened.
That's a great analogy. I agree with that. And we're like the Boston Celtics. If anybody thinks the Celtics are going to sweep the Dallas Mavericks, think again. Minnie came out there and beat them to death too in the first game. Watch what happens next. We're the Boston Celtics of the NFL. Same strange. God.
You just follow the money. You follow the money. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're paying 3 players. The 49ers are paying a lot of players, right? Yeah. So it's like since 2017, we've had at one point the highest paid player at their position. Since 2017, we've had 7 of them. You know, and now the current one is McCaffrey. Before that was Bosa, and before that was Juice. And Juice is on that list twice. So Juice has been paid twice by the 49ers.
And Fred?
He's clocking $50 million as a fullback. And he's his jersey is very rarely dirty. So, you know, no matter how you look at it, even with the Aiyuk situation, you got to be logical about it. You do.
But what do you tell him?
Aiyuk is a number one receiver talent, Ronbo. But the 49ers don't value him as a number one receiver.
Oh.
They don't. He averages 4.5 catches a game, which is what his Super Bowl average was. They treat him like a number two. They treat him like a number two. He's fantastic. He is probably the most balanced receiver in the league because he blocks, he catches, he runs great routes, got good speed. Me personally, I don't think Aiyuk scares me. I'd be more scared of his blocking. But look at how the 49ers are built. They're built to run the ball. Deebo Samuel didn't get paid for his receiving. He got paid because he was a wide back. You understand? And that he's dangerous enough that defenses have to account for him.
He's got more than one skill out there. Yep.
Right? So you're talking two different schemes. You're talking the Shanahan offensive philosophy scheme, and then you're also talking about their financial scheme. And their financial scheme is to pay the players that Kyle feels he must have. That's basically how it works. He's never been close to Aiyuk. Aiyuk's never been on any of the vacations. He's not part of the clique. Yet he does all the right things. So my guess is that the 49ers have probably put something around $24 million on the table. That's where they're at right now, 23, 24.
Yeah, you found that out already? Yeah.
But my understanding
it's a guaranteed
is that the
money.
most valuable player.
That Aiyuk's probably crying about.
Well, there's a lot of it. He can cry all he wants to cry. He really can. But he's on a running football team.
Yeah.
He is on a running football team that has just acquired. Yeah. They have just acquired two receivers in the offseason.
You could be right, because DeForest Buckner ran that game. And DeForest Buckner is one of the best defensive linemen we've drafted in God knows how long. 49ers let him go.
Right.
So, you know what? I'm starting to warm up to show bothered me on Twitter about BA leaving. But, it bothers me.
I think you got to isolate that a little bit. You have to understand that where they messed up with Buckner, they did mess up there. The defensive tackles are not as plentiful as wide receivers are. They just aren't. The wide receiver position is plentiful. So if you're a scheme coach, you just need players to get to the spot they need to get to and catch the ball. It's not about throwing bombs for them. It's not about a receiver beating double coverage because, Kyle doesn't need an elite receiver. Like, remember when Matt Ryan won the MVP? Do you remember who his receivers were?
Oh, he had murderers row.
Or tight ends? I'm just saying in general.
They weren't elite stars, but I do remember Julio, that one long, tall dude they brought back.
Yeah, Julio was the one guy.
They had that other premier tight end. They had quality at every position. Put it that way.
Right. But here's the difference right now in reality and false realities. Right now, you ask any Atlanta Falcon fan,
Tony,
why the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, they're not going to say because of the refs. They're not going to say because of this person fumbling. They're not going to say that. They're going to say because of how the offense was called. And they're right. True.
Yeah.
So it's the same scenario with the 49ers. If the 49ers want to win the Super Bowl, Kyle has to do that. He just does. He cannot.
I'm not taking any blame from him,
though. The biggest game of the year.
Yeah, Kyle has something to do with that loss too. I just don't want anybody to misunderstand me. Kyle's not innocent by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah.
And number two, the whole thing about, well, if you lose Kyle, what are you going to do? You know what? I completely understand that fear, and what that is lack of confidence in Jed York, because Kyle was not.
It's warranted.
His first choice.
Jed doesn't know what he's doing.
Interview list.
Well, he did this one
I'm just saying, Kyle was not on the interview list. You know who was on the interview list?
Who?
Mike Shanahan was on the interview list.
First.
And Mike Shanahan said, hey, man, I'm retired. Why don't you talk to my son? And the rest is history.
Was on the list, too. You know, and then Jed finally admitted that he did always want Kyle years ago as his OC.
No, that's horse crap because they asked for his dad.
Well,
they asked
first,
for Mike.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't sit there and try to poop in my Kool-Aid and say you just added some brown flavor to it. All I'm saying is, man, just say it like it is. You didn't want that kid originally, but yes, did he turn out to be a pretty good head coach?
Yeah.
Yes. Objectively, yes, he is a good head coach. Right? If he wasn't a good head coach, he wouldn't have a coaching tree already. And his system would be half of NFL. Right? So those are valid points.
Yeah.
But his biggest issue that I see is, again, with him is always, it's like leadership, decision-making, and crucial ideas because he's on that sideline, the clipboard by himself, not talking, no one's around him at all. It's just him. He's isolated.
He can't be bothered. He's thinking.
But if you look at other coaches that call their players, they're not like that. They have headsets on, they're communicating with other coaches, they're going back to the bench, talking to their players and stuff like that. So it's like,
Pop,
I don't know.
You're picking on my coach here. I'm telling you right now, there's reasons for all. There's a method to all this madness.
I want Kyle Shanahan to
settle down
better.
And win. I do.
And part of coaching is leading men to fight.
Please,
right?
God.
If Leonidas led 300 Spartans against thousands and thousands of foreigners, Persians coming in, and they held them off to the point where the king had to come talk to Leonidas. It's leadership, man. You got to tell your guys. Kittle shouldn't be going over to a defensive end and telling them, man, I need you really to play today. It's got to be Kyle doing that job.
I'll never forgive him for that either. That was George, what are you doing? I mean, that was a lapse in concentration. Fam, we got to go. I'll be right back about tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I took everything you said. Seriously, I mean, it made sense. I ain't arguing.
No, it's nothing to argue about. I mean, I agree with 100% of what you say, and you can agree with half of what I say. It doesn't matter to me. But the bottom line, Ronbo, is that thank you very much for the platform. Big shout outs to you. Big loves to you and production. Man. Big shout out to the Big Show, Jalen, Tony down under, Trey, Phil, Alice, Darren's mom, Evan, Alan, Jack, Maddie, the Dirk one. Who else? This sandwich Frank, Emilio, and Donut and the crew, and we out.
Very good. Night, Pop. I'll see you tomorrow. Give my best to the Dragon family. All right. Lorenzo. Lorenzo, man, we sit back here. Every year at this time we be tripping over big contracts. Every time a big ticket player, it's time for him to get paid, we have to wait all through the summer, make it a summer. It's already hot in the summer, Lorenzo. And John and Kyle make it hotter, whoever's involved in making the final decisions over there and signing the stars on this team. And we're going through it again next year. We won't get any more years off until the team starts to turn to doo-doo. I don't know when that's going to happen and when we don't have any players to pay anymore. But we go wait. Oh, Lorenzo got to wait. And now you look at Brandon's sitting there looking. Now they signed CMC. And they brought in this dude, Logan. They signed third and Juwan. They didn't sign him. Ain't nobody go pay me. You know how at that point I figure the immaturity starts to take over. Then you start to feel you're getting picked on. But Lorenzo, what do you think about CMC, some of the guys you heard about in camp, and man of the hour, B.A.?
B.A. Yeah. Well, first of all, about that time, fuck them Cowboys.
Yes. Hey, Texas boy, that was for you. That's your sorry team. And who you gonna sign first? And don't tell me it's Dak. He don't deserve no money.
We're doing better than that, so we're good. Yeah, I think CMC's. He earned it. And it's only like 2 years, so. I think they did some good contracts,
Yeah, they did.
Might as well take advantage of that. Yeah, because next year they're not going to be able to do that. Yeah. Next year, well, we're kind of screwed, but I think they can I think they've handled it pretty good,
They're very diligent about making sure they don't make stupid contracts and start looking like the Rams.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the whole team turns to poo-poo.
I enjoy talking shit every year till the end. You know, I fucking enjoy it. You know? Whatever you want to say about that, yeah. And for just some freak shit happening each time, you know, you're like, what the fuck?
I know, right?
You're like, you can't even say anything. You shoulda, coulda, you know, then you be the Cowboys, you know. We coulda, shoulda, you know, they fucking lost, you know.
And you're right, because they didn't. That's why all these rats and roaches are running around up here in the chat now. They're talking all kind of trash and they got nothing behind it, right? They have gotten their ass beat every year. And us losing the Super Bowl, I feel better about that than I do getting beat in the first round and not even making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know how many Super Bowls have we been in since '96, you know?
I know, right? Too many.
We did two with Harbaugh. It's about 6, right? 4, 5. It's been a few.
We got to stop clowning around with that, though. We got to start winning one of these.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about this year. I think we'll be just as good as last year, at least, you know?
Yeah. I'm not tired. I'm just worried about wear and tear. We go deep in the playoffs every year like that. That's got to be wearing people out. Not enough rest time.
Yeah. I think these rookies I think they picked up some good rookies, you know?
Yeah.
And that make a difference, at least, you know. And these guys, they take care of themselves, you know. And, yes, I don't know. You know, I mean, it is what. So, you know, to me and you, it sounds like, 30? That's like a youngster, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, 27. Well, we're talking like less than that. I mean, you guys are still in their 20s, right? So, you know, you just wonder. But the thing is, you know how that damage is getting hit. You know, sometimes your body just needs a little longer to recover. Well, they're not getting that much time to recover. We'll see, though.
When are they going to 18 weeks? Next year? Is that next year?
Are they serious about? I keep thinking they're just talking about it. You know,
are they serious? But then again, it's a short preseason too, or something. 2 preseason games, something like that.
Yeah, but a lot of times some of the vets don't even play in those preseason games. So now they do have to, right? So it's still going to be the same thing.
I think 17 is a good number. Kind of an oddball number. You know, I think the setup now is pretty good. But I think CMC's good. Juwan, I'm glad he's back. You know, and BA, well. I'm pretty sure they'll sign him. I'm positive they'll sign him, you know. I mean, but at least he's working out, you know, showing videos and stuff of him. Not like, you know, Debo got all, you know, a little thick there the other year, you know. Yeah. So when he was good, you know.
And Juwan already got paid, so nobody's gonna get paid more than him. So the ceiling has been established, right? So I don't think BA's sitting around thinking he should be getting paid like Jefferson, but he's damn sure. CeeDee Lamb and all the rest of them guys, he's not going to be happy if he gets less than they do. So, you know.
Yeah, BA is good, though. He's a good clog in that team. You know, he's good for what he does, you know.
Sure.
I mean, he's got that 7-foot plus wingspan, too, you know.
No, he's a freak. He can play.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I wonder what the hell it's like for him to drive. You know, I mean, you just reach over his glove compartment, don't even have to lean over.
And don't even have to bend over. Yeah. Hey, Lorenzo, that's the kind of dad you don't want. You and your brother just cutting up, right? Whoever his brother, sister, and dad just don't even look, take his hand out of the throat, reach back in the back and slap you. But sit down. You know, it doesn't even have to work to get you. So he's got it. I want him on this team.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's looking good. I think they'll re-sign him. They're not gonna get rid of him. You know, it'd be stupid to this year. You know,
that's what I'm
next
thinking.
year. One of them or both of them are getting traded.
For a trade. Get a first round pick if you can, but no, not now. Yeah. We're trying to win this.
Yeah, this year we can still stack up. So, depending on how the rookies show out, you know, this year.
Yep.
That'll probably determine a lot of what's going on next year, you know. But I don't really worry about next year.
That's why the 49ers did it, exactly.
They're doing about this year, you know. Fucking right now, you know, everybody starts whining, what if, you know.
I know, right?
Well, right now,
hypotheticals. You can't answer those questions. You know?
Yeah. So go. Yeah, we got a good team now. Everybody's getting healthy. Ufanga's healthy. That safety position ought to be fun to watch. And we're solid. We're solid all around. I'm not
Every
really too
position.
concerned. You know.
Every position.
Yeah, I'm not. Except for the new. I'm interested in the new linemen they brought in. You know, somebody's got to pan out.
Yeah.
That's
that offensive line.
and that's
I'm
four
looking
they
for
brought in, right?
who?
Yeah, 4 athletic. So
Yeah, they're a little more athletic, so they can because defensive linemen put the bum rush on that offensive line from past days, because our offensive line were too slow of foot. Brindle's not bad; he's kind of fast, but he's a little weak in the pants.
Is that his name? Dominic Pooney or something? Is that his name?
Yeah, that dude can move, and there ain't no fat on him, and he weighs nearly 300 pounds, if not 300 pounds. That's a rock moving at high speed.
Didn't allow one sack in, was it 2 years or something in college?
Yes, indeed. I like that. That's how you get these guys. But we had another guy like that, Lorenzo. What school was that? It's from one of those unlikely schools. It was in the SEC. He allowed one sack in 4 years, but he wasn't that good with us. What was that guy's name? I don't even think he's in the league anymore. But anyway, Vanderbilt? I can't remember what school he went to. Anyway. Fam, we're going to go.
Yeah, I feel confident. Yeah, I feel confident about this year. So we're good. I'm just chilling, smoking, living the dream here, brother.
Hey, that's how you're supposed to go. Life is too short not to do otherwise.
That's it.
Lorenzo, I'll be back tomorrow if you got some time. I'll be looking for you.
All right. Hey,
all right.
Y'all have a good night.
You
bang,
too, Lorenzo.
Bang. Later.
Yeah. Night, fam. And what? There. I thought I saw it. And now. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. So get in here and let's stir this pot up.
How are you this evening?
So like I always say, until the season starts, I couldn't be any better. It'd be against the law if I was feeling any more having a good time. But yeah. Well, Shell, you know about the situations that are going on, the points that you want to jump right on there. I know you like my boy B.A. And also you got to know that some of the guys are playing defense. Rarely do I hear Shell get in the defense, but he is on B.A.
I am an offensive type of minded person.
I know.
Defense is not my area of expertise, even though I tried my hardest.
You suggested Fred Warner.
Best to digest into it, but I'm going to start with the whole Christian McCaffrey contract.
Please.
It seems to me like my camp is growing by the numbers as far as the writing is on the wall for Brandon Aiyuk. I have tried to tell you this. I've tried to wake you up. And I try to explain to you that this offense goes through Christian McCaffrey.
That's it.
Because with before he came here, Ronbo, we had zero identity on offense. None. Zip. We were almost in the grave as far as our offense goes. We were flatlining on the operating table.
But we weren't.
Our running backs were pathetic before CMC came here.
They
were pathetic.
Yeah.
They couldn't even stay healthy, Ronbo.
That's the thing.
We had zero identity on offense. And then CMC comes along, and then bam, the switch comes back on. MVP. And the operation was a success, and we're breathing again. And this offense runs through Christian McCaffrey. And lo and behold, what do you know? In this offseason, we extended him to a 2-year contract through the 2027 season and gave him $24 million fully guaranteed. And that's a slap in the face to Brandon Aiyuk. I'm here to tell you this, and I've been trying to tell you this, and you, I guess, have yet to wake up yet, but they're not going to extend him.
Too much to
drink. Mayoko said that even on his podcast. Did you listen to that podcast I sent you of Mayoko's?
Yeah. No, I've heard them talking about that. Him and what's her name? Yeah. No, I know about
Jennifer Lee Chan.
Yeah.
Matt Miyoko was on the bandwagon of them extending Brandon Aiyuk, and he's now all of a sudden has switched gears and changed his mind that he does not think they're going to extend him after this offseason. He says pretty much that they want him to play his hardest out this year and pretty much show other teams what his worth really is.
Mid-season, get a draft pick. Now, you know what? Yeah, you can't get a draft pick at the end of the season. He can leave.
No. And he laid out all the scenarios that could possibly happen with Brandon Aiyuk, and one of them is pretty much crossed off the list, and that's extending him because they're too far apart on money.
And we haven't got all.
They really are. Yeah. And exactly, and there's not enough money to go around for everybody. And they also brought up a point on his podcast that I'm starting to bring up other people's podcasts on your show, but
it's okay.
Listen to that after you listen to Ronbo tonight, and they pretty much said that there's a whole list of free agents that are potentially going to be walking next year, and it's a long list. And they said that this band isn't going to stay together forever, like I've been preaching about on here. You know, they must listen to me on here or something. I don't know, because I've been saying this for a long time on here.
Don't break the band up.
You know, and well, that's the unfortunate situation that we're in. We have Aaron Banks that's due for a new contract. We have Diamador Lenore, who's really stepped up, who's going to get paid handsomely, I think.
Javarius Ward.
Javarius Ward is due for another contract extension, and so on and so forth. And like I've been saying on here, there's not enough money to go around for everybody, especially the big ticket price items like Brandon Aiyuk. We can't pay all the blue chip players.
You're not the kind
and
of
the difference between I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I'm just saying, you're not the kind of guy you invite to a birthday party. You're not fun. But go ahead.
When it comes to football, I'm not fun, but in actual reality, I am.
You do tell jokes and have a good time. Okay,
I'm a joy to be around, but for football reasons, I'm the biggest pessimist and the person that'll piss you off and doesn't sugarcoat shit and does not tickle your fancy or anything like that. I am the most realist person on here. I give it 100%, and nobody likes that. Apparently, they like to hear nothing but fantasy and kumbaya and unicorns and roses and lollipops and things are okay all the time.
Easter Bunny does live. By the way. Yes.
But Nick Bosa was granted waivers for missing OTAs and was not fined at all by the 49ers. And you know what the 49ers haven't done to Brandon Aiyuk in his fines?
What?
They haven't granted them.
No.
They haven't granted waivers for his fine.
And didn't Debo miss practice as well?
I'm not quite sure, honestly. That was a long time ago. I can't remember that either.
And I hope Debo's not advising Brandon on how he's supposed to act. You know, Brandon, that's what I'm saying. Come in, act nice, and just show up to camp. You don't have to go out there and get full throttle, you know.
And the cherry on top of all of this cake that I just baked, they tried to trade for Justin Jefferson.
No, they didn't. They were just doing their due diligence.
Yes, they did. Adam Schefter confirmed on his podcast that the 49ers inquired, and so did the Jets inquired about trading for Justin Jefferson.
But they said it went
But they didn't go through with it because the Vikings said no. The Vikings said no, and they wanted to pay Justin Jefferson $140 million a year, and that's what happened.
So
you can't deny that report.
They were just checking.
You can't think it's not true.
I didn't. I watched.
They were
I listened to Schefter. He even said the conversation never went anywhere.
Oh, of course not, because they were going to pay him.
Well, no,
they
I know,
said
but
no immediately to both teams that inquired about him.
If the Vikings would have
said,
and that
should say a lot right there.
No, it just says the 49ers are doing. They're going to do that no matter what.
About the
That's what they do.
Situation.
They're going to do that every year.
They would have traded Brandon Aiyuk in the package of Justin Jefferson, probably given him multiple first-round picks, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably what was going to happen if it did come to fruition. And I have no doubt about that.
Well, no, you got to take Justin Jefferson if you could get him, you know.
That's who I would pay that amount of money to. I wouldn't pay that amount of money to Brandon Aiyuk.
Yeah, but as soon as they sign Jefferson, everybody would be leaving, you know, that they can get rid of after that, though. I know.
I think Nick Bosa and Fred Warner will be staying.
Maybe.
Trent Williams probably is on his last leg with us.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody on defense. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the writing is pretty much on the wall. Like a lot of people are finally starting to accept it and realize it after this whole contract that was given to Christian McCaffrey, because the offense does run through him. And you've also got to think about paying Brock Purdy and his fully guaranteed money, etc. You know, like that's they're thinking about the future, whether you want to think about the future or not. Like,
so you know,
it's the reality. That's reality. You know, like
Dad, Joe, I'm not suicidal or on the edge. I would just go ahead and kill myself right now.
Neither am I.
After talking to you, I would just go get that gun and boom, end it all right now. you're killing me here. Listen, so let's come back. Let's do this tomorrow and bring more of your joy.
Shout out to everyone.
Yeah.
Even the ones that think I'm a whiner or what but I'm not. I don't have a whiny voice. Do I have a whiny voice to you, Ronbo?
I don't think so. But you still are. You're
losers.
Mean,
all right,
mean
shout
man.
out to everyone.
The Grim Reaper is saying
care.
good night. Good night, show. God, he needs to smoke a J. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo, how's your night going, buddy?
It's going great, man. You know, it's football season is limited. I like summertime anyway, and then football's coming.
I got summertime and a Celtics victory tonight, so they took game 1 tonight, so that's good. For the
Don't
Celtics.
get excited.
They beat them bad.
I'm telling you right now, the Celtics are just as bad as the 49ers. What's the worst baseball team, Michael? Celtics, 49ers. Who's the worst baseball team that does that? They get all the way to the dance and then get taken out.
Yep.
What baseball team can you think of?
Right now.
Oh, the Dodgers. They finally won.
Dodgers, hey, I got something in common. This year, guys, okay?
The Dodgers, they stacked that team like no other team. And they lost. They got shut out 3 or 4 times this year, right? And so then the Boston Celtics, Celtics, we're going to win this. You guys aren't going. I'm telling you right now.
Think of city of L.A., Ronbo. The Kings got knocked out in the first round from Hockey, okay? The Clippers and Lakers get knocked out in the first round. L.A. boy and the Rams get knocked out in the first round. L.A. must really be a son.
No, wait. Michael, no. Those teams are supposed to get knocked out. But if you're the Dodgers with the biggest bankroll in baseball, Michael, the biggest bankroll in basketball, why are you losing? And that's us.
Yeah.
And that's the Celtics.
All the number one. Yep. But the Celtics, they could break the record this year with 18 championships over the Lakers if they could win it. They got 17 with the Lakers. So if we win it, we get 18. We'll be number 1.
Yeah. Well, that's good for that. But I'll tell you right now, the 49ers have got to.
I'm hoping the 49ers
get there.
Yeah, but the 49ers I'm worried about. Yeah, and like I said, I'm just worried about, you know what I mean? I just worry about this season. I mean, I'm not worried about too much of the Rams, the Cowboys. They look like the weakest link anyway. They look like a team that's ready to, I don't know. There's a lot of surprise teams out there you got to watch out for. My friend says watch out for the Bears. Yep, my friend says watch out for the Bears, man.
Hey, I saw it. They got a defense. Offensively, I heard they're going to be okay. Nothing special, most likely. But yeah.
Let them beat the Packers around. Let them beat Detroit around. Let them beat these guys that we, you know what I mean? More than to beat those guys.
Yeah.
I
can't wait to see Detroit.
And the Rams. I can't wait to see Detroit eating the Rams up. There's a T-shirt I saw at the store where there's a Detroit lion eating those Rams up. Like a shirt. Like
that's a great concept.
That's good. I should send that to Rudy so he can wear that.
A lion eating up a ram.
Eating a ram like at the dinner, like at the buffet dinner. Yeah, but no, I mean the two tight ends. I think we're working with something, Ronbo, with the 2 tight ends. I think you know what I mean. Logan's not the other guy we picked up from Washington. Doesn't look too bad.
No,
I think now he's coming to a better team. No, I think coming to a better team is going to help him. You know?
Yeah, well, with the kind of offense he runs, he's got to learn it, though.
Mm-hmm. Learn from Kittle. He'll learn a lot from Kittle. Well, anybody could learn good with Kittle. I could go out there and Kittle could tell me what to do. He's like a good teacher. Kittle, CMC's a good teacher. Purdy's a good teacher. You learn from the great.
I just wonder if Logan can block.
And the receivers look good. But I say the receiver is good. The big room, the receiver room is good. The running back room is good. Tight end is good. Shoot. The only thing I got to pray is the kicker. Just pray to God he doesn't,
Who?
Screw up any game. The kicker. Just got to hope. I think he's going to learn from his mistakes from last year.
Nobody talks about
Jake, the money mood.
Nobody talks about Jake. Nobody thinks about Jake. It's a very scary thought. He'd better be better this year than he was last year. My God, Jake.
But I think he will. I believe in this guy's gonna. I think he's gonna learn. It's a rookie, rookie mistake. He's gonna learn. He's probably practicing right now. Like he's probably doing all these different. He's probably practicing.
Well, he has to. I mean, the kicker has
but
no
I
excuse.
Believe in him. I can't give
he can practice every day.
He's from Michigan. Yep. And I just hope that we give see Danny Gray in the preseason. See,
Jake.
See Mason.
And the kickers, special teams. The only thing I worry about in special teams is that group that goes on and off in defense. I mean, they got to be able to stop the other team, and on a kickoff, they got to get that ball down the field.
Yep.
We're gonna be okay.
Well, we'll see how the score will look this year, Ronbo, with that new rule now. We'll see how many touchdowns we return. We got a lot of fast guys. A lot of teams got a lot of fast guys.
Yeah. Nobody fully understands.
Scores will be high. Nope. Scores will be high probably this year. You watch the scores. Some of these scores will be high. It'll be close and high. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You might get some of those high goals. You get those guys that run those balls. You get a guy that runs fast like Debo, and you get the Tree Kill from Miami. He runs fast. You got the guy running back from Miami. He runs fast from Texas A&M. You got guys that can run fast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. If you can get off the mark quick, because they're both going to take off at the same time. As soon as the guy gets the ball, they can take off.
Yep.
It's like
off to the races, Ronbo.
It's like a snap.
It's like a shotgun. It's like a shotgun going off. He's shooting a missile right off. Yeah, you'll see a lot of those. You watch. Yeah. A lot of touchdowns. I guess hope our defense can stop them. I don't want to let those guys go by, like the Rams. Oh, yeah, I don't want to see any of those come by us.
I don't even know how you're training for that.
Get the wall out and blow it. Yeah. And then see who's going to do the kicking duty. Who's going to, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not going to be Ronnie Bell. He's walking on thin ice from what I understand. So we'll see what happens.
But if Ronnie Bell goes by Kansas City is interested in him. Come back from Kansas City. I have a friend that lives out in Kansas City. He said a lot of the Chiefs are interested in bringing Ronnie Bell.
Well, yeah, he'll be there soon because he might get cut. Ronnie Bell's screwing up in practice.
I think he's from that area. I think he's from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he goes there, God bless him. Yeah. Okay, get a shout out to Tony Wright, 49 Brian. I know. I can't wait to see the Falcons out there too. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm just waiting to see the Falcons win their first game. We win our first game. Let's see the Cowboys lose their first, the Rams lose their first, and the Lions will be eating the Rams again on the T-shirt. More Lions will be getting full, eating those Rams, eating Rams and all that. Jim Ram and Tribe. Well, Tribe, the lost cause.
Big goat meat.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Show. I think Big Show needs to get a job with the 49ers doing the money counting. I think he needs to sit in the front office. I think Big Show needs to be in the 49ers front office.
Oh, you know what, Big Show? Big Show be getting rid of everybody. He doesn't care how good they are. They're too expensive. You got to go.
You take over there with him and tell him, hey, this guy shouldn't go. We can work it out.
You got to go back. I'll be back tomorrow, though.
All right. You too, have a good night, brother.
You too.
You too, Ronbo.
Night, Michael. Your show, man, we'd have merry minimums out there every year. Show does not believe in players asking for too much money. Cute kill, because I know he's going to say something. Yo, Jalen!
How's it going, Ronbo?
Jalen, telling you, man, it's going great. How you doing?
I'm all right, Ronbo. Couldn't be better. Been listening to a lot of the callers tonight. You gotta love the faithful Ronbo. Some people come in here and they say, yeah, Ronbo, you gotta have people that come in here that's positive. Everybody can't come in here and be negative. We gotta have some people that's positive, and I love those fans. They can always come in here. No, I'm serious, Ronbo. I really love.
No, because I know where you're going next. But go. I love the way you do it. You set it all
they
up.
They always can come in here and they always show us the brighter side of
Peaches
things.
and
it
cream.
does always. Yeah, but it's needed, Ronbo. I mean, it is needed. Sometimes we are needed to be reminded that other teams have it worse off than us.
Hey,
and that is true.
And you even point that out. I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like we do. Who was it they call in? That usually in the early. He usually always positive about him. I don't know
Phil?
his name. He usually one of your first. Phil, yeah, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's usually one of the positive callers about it.
Yeah.
But we
49er
also
Brian.
do have to have. Yeah. They. I mean, so that's needed.
So we need. So Jalen, you say that to say that we need you to be you.
What? Whoa! Hold on, Ronbo. Time out. See, I'm confused because I ain't always been like this. I ain't always been the guy that came in. No, don't do that to me, Rombo. I used to come in here and I used to be everybody's favorite caller. Then the 49ers lost the third Super Bowl and they broke my goddamn heart.
You might still be. I'm telling you, Jalen, you abuse people because you complain in such a fashion where it's entertaining.
Rombo, listen.
You could have Dak Prescott as your quarterback.
No, Rombo. I mean, we got him as a coach. I mean, we got the equivalent as a coach. Kyle Shanahan, a hell of a regular season guy, but postseason come around, he just biggest game. Oh my goodness! He's yet to win 2 playoff games in a season. Rombo, he always wins 2 and loses the third.
Are we talking about Kyle?
Yeah, Rombo. In Atlanta, he had the first seed, so he won divisional round, won in the NFC Championship, lost in the Super Bowl. Then in 2021, won in a wild card, won in the divisional round, lost in the NFC Championship. Kyle can never win more than 2 playoff games for some odd reason.
Now, there's an interesting stat.
This has happened.
I had not looked at that.
Yeah, that's very weird. It's very weird. But, I mean, it is what it is, Rombo. I can't convince these people to change their mind. That's just how they is. This is how they gonna be. This is how they believe, man. If you believe that, 2 Super Bowl losses, and an NFC Championship loss against the Eagles, and an NFC Championship loss against the Rams, which is the equivalent of 2 Super Bowl losses. If you think that ain't, fire-worthy, or at least him being on a hot seat or needs to be held accountable, hey, that's just how you gonna think, bro. I can't change how you gonna think. But, Rombo, that's just people's opinions, and we need to respect their opinions and be thankful that they're coming here to support the 49ers at the end of the day, Because at the end of the day, Rombo, regardless of somebody being positive or negative, we still love the 49ers.
Yes.
Of
this,
we
all have a common interest, yes.
Yeah, that's the common interest. It's the 49ers. That being said, though, what are we going to be saying going into year 9 if this man is still yet to put a ring on his finger?
Well, yeah. I don't know how Jed...
give him 2 more years. The offensive line.
I don't know what the criterion is that he crunches to determine whether he's going to keep somebody around as his head coach or not. He didn't have trouble getting rid of Chip Kelly and Jimmy T.
After 1 year.
Yeah, gave a year apiece. Nobody was mad about it either.
Rombo, his first 2 years, he won 8 games?
Between the two? Wait, that's right. 6 wins for Jimmy and 2 for Chip. 8 games in 2 seasons.
I mean, that was just Kyle. Man. I haven't seen a head coach that's been on a team for more than 5 seasons and hasn't gotten a ring, Rombo. Eventually,
I meant to ask you about that last time. But how many times did that coach get to the Super Bowl or even the NFC CG?
Didn't Mike McCarthy made a couple of NFCGs, Rombo? They fired him. Doug Peterson, he won a Super Bowl and they fired him.
Did Mike McCarthy get to 2 NFC CGs? Because it seems
he got to one against the Falcons and he got to one against the Seahawks.
Was that a final game against the Seahawks? Oh, damn, he did. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's been guys that have.
And that one he lost against the Seahawks again, another freak accident. Oh, remember the onside kick, and the fool on the Hawks.
Dan Quinn got fired too, Ronbo. He made it to a Super Bowl and an NFC. I think he made it to another NFC championship, maybe a divisional round. But he made it to a Super Bowl. They fired him.
They got him. They got Texas. Well, no, Dan Quinn quit in Texas. Smart man, but he didn't get fired.
Here's the thing, though. It ain't like he's getting back to the NFC Championship with sorry teams, Ronbo. He has the best roster in the league. Why do we keep overlooking this? Can we stop acting like he's coaching his way to these NFC Championships and not beat the absolute crap out of teams that are literally worse than his roster?
I just want to say he built that team, though. This is the thing. I don't know if everybody has the capability to put a team together like that.
Ronbo, you can build a car and not know how to drive it, Ronbo. That's cool. He built it. What has he done with it?
If the thing is, you wouldn't have that machine if it wasn't for him and John Lynch. I really think they did a good job of putting that team.
But you wasted. You don't wasted money and resources building this car, and we can't even get it to go anywhere.
Jalen, you may get your wish. The 49ers cannot go back to Super Bowl 2 more times and lose it, though. So.
Oh hell no! That happens, Ronbo. That man, I promise you, I personally would go up to John Lynch and smack him across his face. I'll take that charge too. Yeah, something's wrong with you, dog.
Yeah, and Jed may come to a conclusion on it as well. But until then, I don't know if we should consider.
If he loses another NFC Championship, it's a no. He can't. What's his goal for this year, Ronbo?
Super Bowl.
What's his season?
Anything less than the Super Bowl is a fail.
He has to win it.
Every time.
Don't say lose it, Ronbo. You told me this last year.
I did. I believe so the year before.
And you said the year before. Yep, you
The
did.
thing is, they cannot afford. This is it. They don't have enough juice next year to get back there again.
Ronbo, we got some fans coming in here saying that this year's team is gonna be better than last year. Man, I love y'all. I love some of the people. Man, I really do. I love y'all. We gotta have some positive people. Absolute. We lost Armstead. We lost Kinlaw. We lost Chase Young. Greenlaw gonna be out half the season. Hufunga's gonna be out half the season. Gibson is gone, but this team's gonna be better than last year. Trent Williams is a year older. George Kittle's a year older. Christian McCaffrey's a year older. But this team's gonna be better than last year. I love some of y'all. I love y'all, faithful. I really do. I love every one of y'all.
The thing is, your relationship with reality is a little too extreme. Every now, do you ever fantasize at all?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I fantasize that I'm in the 90s and watching those Super Bowl championships in the 80s.
I mean, Jalen, you have brothers and sisters and everything at home?
Ronbo, I fantasize, yeah.
I can see you now. Your dad is like coming in the house with a big bag or something, and Jalen's sitting there behind the chair. Daddy, is that you? Because I knew that was you. I had it all figured out.
No, I mean, Ronbo, you got to understand. This change of personality happened after this third Super Bowl. I was never like this until we lost this Super Bowl. Why are y'all acting like I was like this? I was never like this until we lost.
I'm trying to remember the Jalen before.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
I don't have any argument against that, but
I mean, Ronbo, I used to come in here clowning the Seahawks, clowning the Raiders. Man, I can't even Ronbo. What energy? I don't even have the energy to clown these teams no more. Ronbo, I done seen a third Super Bowl loss. Mentally and emotionally, I just can't do it. I can't. That's man. Look, no.
Listen.
3 Super Bowl losses, Ronbo. What other franchise has seen that? 3
not many, but
in 10 years? Jesus.
Jalen, would you take a deep breath?
I can't handle that on my heart, Ronbo. I'm too young.
No, but yes, I'm saying we got to go. And listen, come back tomorrow, and I'll be looking for you because we need to have these sessions.
How am I supposed
to
balance this
We're
out,
gonna
Ronbo?
get through this. I'm telling you.
Even if we win 1 ring, that's 1 in 3 in my lifetime, Ronbo. I'm gonna feel like a loser as a fan.
Jared, look at it. You'll be okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Oh my God, we lost to the Rams.
Jared, good night. Boy, I feel bad about it though.
Good night, Ronbo.
Good night, Jalen. The Big Show says, don't misconstrue my philosophy. The positions that deserve money are obviously left tackle, DE, QB. To say I'd get rid of everyone is. We finally hit a nerve? Okay, well, thanks for the Hey, yo, Elvis. Yoey. Ellis?
Yeah.
Ellis, come on in, man.
Yeah. Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, come on in. We're we're getting Jalen has come in and he's had his session, and Big Show's come in and he's writing notes up on the wall. Ellis, okay, because like we're looking at the CMC contract, and I'm wondering if there's anybody out there that doesn't appreciate that and the things he brings to the table. Also, BA is like usual. BA's got people going all different directions as far as thoughts on him, and we got all kind of good things going on in camp. But it's too early to get too excited about it because the fact is no pads or anything like that. But Ellis, your feelings on what's taking place at this point? Yeah.
Well, shit, I'm hearing good things about a lot of the. I'm hearing Darrell Luter Jr. is looking good. That's great news. We had, there was high hopes for him coming out of South Alabama. We need him to step up. I was hearing about, of course, Malik Mustafa's playing good, and then Ronaldo Green's looking better. I like what I'm hearing when it comes to that. Yeah, I like what I'm hearing when it comes to that. We won't know anything though, and no sense in really getting too excited just yet. Mm-hmm. I think Mustafa's going to be a sure thing. My only problem is the Ronaldo Green. If he's sticky in coverage, sticky can mean can also
Flags.
mean that you holding his shit. So I'm not too excited about that. If he can't learn to play without his hands. We want you to deflect the ball. We want you to play the ball, not the man with your hands. Play the ball with your hands. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, CMC was worth the money. We got him for 4 seasons. He'll likely retire a 49er, or he'll likely hang it up 4 years. I think he's probably only got maybe that 4 or 5 years. I don't think he'll be playing football.
Yeah,
past
you can't get
4 years with us.
Yeah, running backs don't get signed at 32.
Yeah. So, but he's so well worth the money, and he deserves it. He's played his ass off. He's played better in a year and a half than some of these guys have played for 4 or 5 seasons with us. You know what I mean? Put together. So you can't money can't buy that kind of greatness. This is one of the greatest running backs that'll ever play this game that we have on our team right now. He's hungry. He's a fireball. He's a great leader, an excellent player, motivator, and he leads by example. So that you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? He's worth every dollar. I don't give a shit what nobody says. Unless we get somebody that can come in here and even look 30% good, as good as Christian McCaffrey, and which that still isn't going to add up and ain't going to be anybody that we can utilize. I don't see any problem with him getting paid that money. Signing Juwan was a great idea. I like the Logan Thomas pickup for, it looks like a bargain. We need these tight ends. I'm hoping that, with what Jordan Willis is from what I'm hearing looking like, that he can come in and be an immediate impact this season. Cam Latu is likely going to get cut off. I'm just assuming that he's going to get cut. I don't see him making this team. He's not even in training camp.
Really?
He's not. I haven't heard shit about Latu.
Not either.
Whatever we've been doing. Well, I know we don't have our official training camp, but I haven't even heard about him standing on the sideline or none of that shit. So
that's true.
That was just a waste of a pick, and I think that was a 2nd round pick if I'm not mistaken, or a 3rd round, early 3rd, or whatever. I don't appreciate that. That was another blown pick by Kyle, but we'll take what we can get, man. We got Ricky Pearsall, we got Cowing. These guys can come in and replace him. You win some, you lose some. So I'm not going to really concern myself with the pick at the end of the day. But we don't have time to wait for Cam Latu to learn how to catch the ball and be a tight end. I know he was I believe a linebacker. He played on the defense and was converted to a tight end. Yeah. So that wasn't a good pick anyway.
I think
we should have never fucking got him.
He's not playing.
He's not a. There was about 7 other tight ends that we could have got instead of Cam Latu that would have been immediate impacts. Kyle I don't know what the hell he was thinking about. The whole Alabama thing, it's like, look, dude,
Just because these guys go to Alabama does not mean they're about to come in the NFL and just tear shit up. There's plenty of players that.
That's the thing, you know.
Well, but you don't take a guy who used to play defense and now move to tight end and draft him on your team in the third round. Cam Latu would have been available in the fifth or sixth round, So the hell out of here with that. Yeah. But we're gonna be good, man. Look, I'm excited. We got a lot of guys that's that are gonna come in and I think play immediately. This will probably be like the most impactful rookie draft core or group that we've had in a while that we'll have guys coming in immediately, impacting the game with the new special team stuff. With how they're doing things now. I think they're gonna. I think Kyle's gonna get creative. I definitely want what's his name to make this team that running back from. I keep hearing a lot of good things about the kid who played in the SEC. Cody.
Drake.
Was it Cody
Drake.
or is it?
Drake. What is his name? Yeah. All of a sudden his name slips by. Yeah, nothing bad is being said about him ever.
Nothing but good things are being said about him. And but the guy from I don't know if it was Wisconsin, the other one, the tall one, the fast one. I want him to make this team. I think he reminds me, like I said, of a James Conner, the one with the G, last name, whatever the hell his name is. Y'all know who he is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gurindo, yeah, Isaac Gurindo. Yeah, he's gonna. I think he's gonna be an impact on this team. But he's gonna need some time. The other one is more, I think, ready right now.
Yeah,
like we could put him in, and he played in the SEC as some of the best, the best of the best, and he was, I think, a top back in the SEC. Yeah. So that type of shit, you don't. And I think, did we get him signed undrafted? Cody Schrader. Yeah. Didn't we get him unsigned?
Yeah. He some of the intangibles that they look at, like your speed. Cody does not run that fast as far as a 40, right? He's one of those ball players that explodes when he's on the field, but he's not going to go out there and jump higher than everybody else or run faster or broad jump out everybody. I mean, he's not an Olympian. Yeah. He's a football player. So you got to look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't run the same speed when you got
dudes chasing
when you're running without cleats on, shoulder pads, helmet, and football, pants on. You run a lot faster. But when you get the pads and shit on, that's where you really get to see who's really fast. So, but we don't need Schrader to be super fast. He can always improve his speed and stuff over the year. But if he can run hard, if he can be an asset at fullback and learn from under Kyle Juszczyk, he needs to be picking Kyle Juszczyk's brain because that's who is likely going to be the replacement. Which you can't replace Kyle Juszczyk. Yeah, because I'm talking about Schrader.
Oh, Schrader's probably
Schrader's more of a fullback.
Gurindo does have the
Schrader's one Schrader's more of like a fullback running type back. You know what I'm saying? He's, but Juszczyk he used to be a tight end. He's taller. He's big. He's super athletic. So they don't match up physique wise, but Gurindo is more of a liken as far as frame and physique to a Kyle Juszczyk, but I don't know if he has that in him. He seems like he's got like that with that speed and all of that. We could have him being like a bigger version of Raheem Mostert. If he's running that damn fast, we need to start running some of that outside zone with him and see how he fares with that. And we can keep Cody Schrader more in between the tackles and getting those gritty yards and stuff going upfield. And kind of like what Juszczyk does, you know what I mean? Because he usually gets the ball in between the tackles.
Yeah,
whenever he does Juszczyk, it's very seldom.
They've got that mental mindset, so they're going to play that position. I wonder how many guys are available like that. But we're going to go, fam. I tell you what, let me see.
Yeah, man, me too. I'm at the movies, man. I'm watching Bad Boys. I was waiting. I just jumped out of my chair. The movie just started. I just came over here to chop it up with the family.
Appreciate that, too. All right.
Yeah, hey, man, it's all love. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Papa D and the Dragon fam. Shout out. I think I heard Frank earlier, man. I didn't get to catch his call, but I heard his voice on there.
Yeah.
Shout out Frank. You know what I mean? Shout out Donut Tanisha. Shout out Tony Tone. Shout out Evan and shout out Big Show. I didn't get to hear him. Hopefully he came through with some positivity tonight, my boy.
No.
He be going through it sometimes. Hey man, but look, we gotta win, man. We don't got no more time for the bush. So I get it.
No, I agree.
So,
Him and Tony, you can't argue with them. It's painful to listen to them, but they're right about a lot of things. So, all right.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Faithful, man. Y'all know what it is, Ronbo. Thank you for the platform.
Fam.
Shout out
Right.
production, man.
Enjoy
Hit
that
that like
movie.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
You know where you at, man. All right.
Night, Ellis.
Peace.
There goes Ellis watching Bad Boys. Tony.
What you gonna do? Ronbo.
Tony, man, one thing about 49ers, there'll always be no shortage of drama, especially the last 4 or 5 seasons. So, Tony, you have CMC getting signed, and how many of us said, and there were people that got mad at me on Instagram because I said, could CMC be missing because maybe something to do with his contract? Hey, man, don't come up with crap that's not happening. What is this? You're one of those pages that I said, I'm just saying, man. He never misses work. CMC does not miss work. So if he's not there, I got a feeling something's up. And so if we find out, lo and behold, yes, he was looking for a little more security. He's earned it. He did a great job last year. I'm not mad at him about that, but I just, we need to know that these things happen, right? And then you got our favorite guy, Brandon Aiyuk, of whom several people are already getting rid of. No. People are getting rid of both him and Debo. Tony, can you have so much talent that you can afford to get rid of people?
Yeah, you can. If you've got youngsters coming through that you're evaluating and they're looking promising.
Mm-hmm. Are you thinking that's what they're going? Are they going to do that? Because the money is ending this year.
Big Show said that. I heard the same thing, that they tried to trade for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
well, I
think every team in the league did.
Didn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, but if the 49ers did do that, that means they got the money to pay Aiyuk.
Yeah, that's a good point. They do.
So, because they weren't going to get Justin Jefferson for sweet fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they've got the money to pay the dude. Now, are they going to drag this out to the trade deadline? Or
absolutely. That's what they do.
Are they going to drag it out till then so they can evaluate some of these youngsters? Because we've got a lot of people that run 4-3s in this team. You know what I mean?
I know. It seems to be
look at the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs. What did they do with Tyreek Hill? They pissed him off. Did they win a Super Bowl? Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's really. There's the example right there. And if I'm Aiyuk and any other receiver screaming about his money, I would concern myself with that. They say, yeah, but they ain't got Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback either. I know, and that could be the counter for that. So,
look, I said it a while back. Somebody's got to nip this shit in the bud. This whining little pussy ass way of, I'm going to take you off Facebook and I'm going to not follow the team anymore and all this. Put a skirt on, bro.
It is wimpy.
Put a goddamn skirt on. Renounce yourself as a man.
Yeah.
Because, if Kansas City made an example out of him, he said, bro, we can get wide receivers all over the place. All right? Well, what do we have to do? The quarterback has to deliver the ball to the dude. Put it in his hand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're the only wide receiver in the whole competition. Don't get me wrong. I love Brandon, and I want him on this team.
Well, yeah, I bet you spotlight the selfishness, though. Some guys want to take the lion's share of the money. Well, why do you think like that? Why can't we get you around this number here? This is a substantial number. You're not going to have to apply for welfare. This is fine. 25, 26
exactly.
million? Come on. And you're going to get this kind of, we're going to do this, we're going to do this bonus. They do go too far.
I said 27.5.
That's enough.
They should be happy with that.
And give them some.
I mean,
guarantee.
if someone gives you $27.5 million, Ronbo, and you can't turn it into 50, there's something wrong with you.
Spread over a certain amount of time. And I want to give you a bonus, and I'm going to give you a signing bonus and guaranteed monies that are going to add up to this. Why can't you take this? Are you really going to be?
The other thing is the NFL there should be a rule where sponsorship, like Nike cleats or commercials and things like that, should come through the club, not directly to the player, right? Because then they can say, "Listen, all right, we're going to give you $27.5 million, but you know what? We've got a sponsorship lined up for you that's going to give you another 30. Stop fucking whinging."
All those companies will balk at that, though. They won't want to get involved with that. They want to make their own deals, and so they'll draw out their own contracts, and that way they'll feel a little more comfortable. I can't imagine that. It would be nice, though.
Yeah, because then it'll control the player. But the other thing is, for me, I don't see, and the only problems I see is what Tony said from Hawaii, all right? Mm-hmm. And that's defensive line, people running up the gut, because Hargrave is not known for stopping the run. Neither is Leonard Floyd, Ronbo. Leonard Floyd,
he's outside.
On stopping the run are ridiculous.
No,
they're hopeless.
They didn't get him for that. Leonard Floyd's not even going to play. He's not even playing 4 downs either.
But who's going to do it? That's the question. Who's going to do it?
They got that guy they picked up from the Panthers. He's supposedly not bad. You got Malik from the guy they picked up from the Texans. See, what's so funny? Nick is excellent at stopping the run too. He's an amazing player. And they've got some other linemen. That big nose guard, a nose tackle. So there's players they're going to have to test out and see. But they know full well they can't allow that run game to take off like it did last year. So I'm sure the 49ers are thinking hard and long on that as well.
Yeah, and then the other problem we've got is the O-line. The rest of the team is fine, Ronbo. Yeah. We don't have any problems at corners, at safeties, at running backs, at receivers. They're the only 2 problems we have
in the trenches,
in the whole team.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that offensive line, though. I want to see. He had to improve from last year, though.
If you watch that Green Bay game, Ronbo, again.
No. All right. I can't watch those games twice. I accidentally watched the Super Bowl twice, but I do not watch the playoffs games twice, especially ones like that. I don't know how in the world they won those games. I do, but still, why did they get themselves in that hole?
What do you mean you don't know how? If they just didn't, if the quarterback didn't go AWOL and just threw 2 or 3 checkdowns, we wouldn't have even made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know. Brock Purdy, he was just standing in there. They were coming at him like crazy, man. The offensive line was being the offensive line. Brock stood back there and took care of his job. And CMC got the ball and it hurt their feelings. I think CMC, with that one run, he pretty much broke their will. The 49ers were fierce last year in that playoff, both of them. They just screwed up in the Super Bowl.
But there's another person with these commentators I'm sick of hearing about, Brock Purdy. I mean, do you know what Tyreek Hill's 10-yard split is, Ronbo?
I've never thought about it.
1-5-1. All right? Tyreek Hill's 10-yard split is 1-5-1. You know what Brock Purdy's 10-yard split is?
Just a little
1-5-4.
Yeah, I was about to say, Brock's got a quick burst. That's why he can't really be tackled. If he sees you coming, he gets out of that a lot.
That told me the kid can't move, man. He can move. He's 10-yard split.
I know. And saying things like, what he lacks in athleticism he has between his ears. You guys, you know what? Let's not exaggerate he doesn't have athleticism. Brock Purdy's got one of the quickest get-offs. He can get away. And he does that a lot. How many guys we see grab Brock Purdy and barely get a handful of waste before he's out of there? So, don't pay attention to these guys are idiots.
And, I think we stick to our identity and run the ball. Mm. But there's got to be some pressure taken off Christian McCaffrey this year, Ronbo.
I've heard
there has to be. Kyle has to recognize that he's not a bell cow, man.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't be used this way.
You know what I mean?
I read something the
he's
other day.
Not Derrick.
Well, they are going to be looking at that
Derrick
this year.
Freaking Henry?
Yeah, I know.
He's not Derrick Henry.
And they killed him, too. Derrick Henry was broken down a couple of years ago. Remember that injury? You can't run a man through all those tackles all day long with that kind of hit. God, I don't care who he is. Well, he's going to have to stop. They've already said they're going to tone it down and pretty much pace him so he can last the entire season. Actually, I got to get that article. I'll post it up or give it to you. But, Tony, we're going to go.
With all the rest of the positions, we've got great problems. You know what I mean? We've got brilliant problems. We've got problems we don't know who to pick.
I tell you.
As far as Brandon goes, let's see if they drag it out, see if they're evaluating other players to chop him on the trade deadline. But I don't think so. I think he's a pivotal part of this team.
One thing the 49ers are, they're kind of fair most of the time. Sometimes but this time I don't think Aiyuk's leaving. I really don't, but we'll see. Tony, I'll see you though.
He wants to.
No, he doesn't want to leave. Let me see you tomorrow, Tony, before it gets too late here. And let's just go 2 days in a row here. All right?
Well, all right, brother. Shout out to Evan Ellis, Big Show, Papa Dragon, Young Jalen, and the rest of the mob. And I'll see you in the next one.
Looking forward to it. Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Yo, KC. Oh, 49er Brian is up. Hey, 49er Brian.
Hey, Ronbo, can we franchise Big Show?
We tried that last year. He wouldn't sign the tender. We had to pay him.
Hey, man, I was just looking at your stats on your show. You're almost at 30K, buddy.
Oh, well, good. The more
you didn't even know, did you? You don't even look, do you?
No.
You're so funny.
I was like, I enjoy this show so much. I sometimes don't look at those kind of things until later. Because you know what? We've built an immediate family here. Between you, Big Show, Jalen, you guys have got your own shows within the show. That's why I'm more gorged to that than anything else. Because
what we do best. Pissing off Rams fans everywhere. Nothing better.
And you know what? They become an integral part of the program, too, because they bring your personality out as well and others on here. And Tony Wright. Tony Wright is just having a ball,
Oh, yeah. Tony's the man.
This is a fun thing.
And where's Marketing Pro? I'm worried about Marketing Pro. Haven't heard him from...
Marketing Pro, every now and then he takes a day or two off, and then he'll come in and like he's been drinking for the entire time he's been gone. I mean, you ever guys that go to bed drunk and wake up drunk and continue that drunk into 2 and 3 days? That's Marketing Pro. Ronbo, let me tell you something about Matthew Dye and Stanford. See, what y'all don't understand is as long as McVay is over in L.A., you're going to always be like this. Marketing Pro, what are you talking about? We beat you guys every time.
And shout out to Ramilia, fake Ramilia, and Zerper playing Marco Polo in the pool tonight with each other. Yeah. And they got the bubbles going. You guys have a great night together, okay?
Oh, God. That's so...
Hey, Ronbo, I'm really excited about this tight end we signed. I hope Kyle runs some
Logan.
Some 2 tight end sets. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Well, now he has the capability of doing it. Logan can do anything that George can do. Maybe not as well, but he can still do anything George can do. He's got 10 years in the league. So I'm looking for that too.
Man, and hopefully they don't have to do all that blocking. And
even if they do, not all the time. I don't know if Logan's a blocker or not. But, with Kyle Shanahan, you got a blocker. He wouldn't bring you in as a tight end. And he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have any problem blocking anyway.
He is a pretty big dude, isn't he?
Yeah, bigger than George.
I'm kind of excited for that signing. Yeah. He looks like he's pretty tough. But I just wish we wouldn't have got rid of old Ross Dwelly. But
I know, right?
Hey, Tony, you take care of our Ross Dwelly down there in Atlanta.
See, you're like me, right? I develop after a while. Your player can't stay with you 4 or 5 years, and I just flip him off that easily. Some people, Ronbo, it's a name in the front, not the back. Oh, man, I'm not like that, man. I mean, that guy did a lot of good things for us. I really appreciate it, but I hate to see him go. But,
Wow. Yeah, but, there's just no room for him.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got to move on to other teams.
I do understand.
Yeah.
That. I just don't like it, but I understand it.
Ronbo, hey, I was gonna say I'm gonna donate $100 to your channel when we sign Aiyuk and have a little stamp to Big Show of approval on it.
Oh God, that's gonna be. You know what? I've already named that show. If Aiyuk does leave, we are going to dedicate the entire program to Big Show. We're gonna have him co-host and everything. So
are you gonna make a little cake for him like he was talking about? He's gotta have his little cake with the cherry on top.
But I'm going to eat it right here on the air. It's a show. A public apology will be issued. Show, I was wrong. I was out of my mind to question the fact that you initially said that Aiyuk was not going to be signed, and you lined up reasoning as to why he wasn't going to be signed, and I sat there and I argued like the idiot I was. Show, look forward to that show.
Right. So, who was it? Was it Tony or the guy we just had on, Australia boy? I forget his name. He's so cool.
No, Tony. I've never known Tony's last name.
Tony was right. Why would the Niners try and sign Jefferson if they didn't have the money? So obviously they do have the money for Aiyuk.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you know how they do though, Brian. The 49ers are always calling on just to see, as they call their due diligence, right? I don't think.
As you call that with a woman, you call that mixed signals.
Right? That's it, exactly. I don't think the 49ers are. I think they're just calling to be nosy or something. I always wonder, why are you calling them? You're not going to make a deal.
That's like
Jefferson wants twice as much money as Aiyuk.
That's like Zerper trying to call Ramilia, and Ramilia just says, "Get out of here, you chump! I don't want nothing to do with you. You're just clowning me every night, and the only reason I'm in here is to drive everybody else crazy. That's all I do for a living."
I really love to have Jefferson though, Brian. But there was no reason to call. That was a waste of their time and the Minnesota Vikings time. And the Vikings, of course, said, "No, we're not trading him. Thanks anyway."
I bet it made the Vikings feel appreciated, though.
Oh yeah. Hey, Brian,
geez.
I guarantee you, there were 31 other teams that called and asked about that. You got to find out. This is the best wide receiver in the game. Yeah.
But Ronbo, do you really think he's worth $30 million, Brandon Aiyuk? I don't know.
No, we don't use him in a way where he should be worth $30 million. He takes a share of the load. He doesn't carry the team.
I mean, what did Jefferson get? Jefferson got 35, right?
Yeah, he'll be the highest paid non-quarterback of all time, and that's going to stay that way for a long time.
Let's just be honest here. Brandon Aiyuk is no Jefferson.
No,
he's not.
He's not.
So there's no way he's worth $30 million. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. But what do? We just kick back and keep him on the team. He'll be mad, and the next year we franchise him. I don't know.
Brian, let me ask you this though: do you want him on the team all pissed off? I don't want Brian.
Ronbo, if he doesn't get signed, he's already going to be that way. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want him on the team if he's going to be walking around the locker room grumbling and saying things and causing havoc and just grumble.
Yeah, trying to be the next TO. Yeah. But we don't need that again, do we?
And can you see him sitting there in the locker, especially if he's the reason we won a game? Yeah, I'm out here busting butt, man. We winning ball games mainly on the strength of my plays, but I can't get paid. Okay, Brandon, you know what?
Well, the only way I see it happening is if they give him, they stretch out his contract, Ronbo, or give him a huge signing bonus? I don't know.
There's ways. I don't know.
They're going to do it.
The 49ers know how to do this, but is this camp being so stubborn that they can't, no flexibility in what they're asking for? I don't understand. And why do we have to do this every year? I don't know. I blame the 49ers to a small degree, though, Brian. What are they doing that makes them so hard to deal with?
Well, you know what our problem has been the last few years? We've recruited some amazing players, and they all turn out to be awesome. And then we don't, we can't keep everybody. And that's been our problem for the last few years. We keep getting really good people into our organization. Mm-hmm. And I'm also talking about Kyle and all his coaching staff. Mm-hmm. How many coaches do we lose a year, Ronbo?
At least a minimum of 2. And that's and I would say average 2. But we lose more than that.
Yeah.
here and there.
So, hit on Kyle all you want. He loses coaches every year, and we still win every year. That's the amazing thing.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Also, and Brian, Kyle and John built that team. We have how many Pro Bowlers? We have how many people we can't sign? I don't want other people in there trying to run the 49ers. They're doing a good job. I'm sorry we lost the Super Bowl, but we got there, and we'll get back there again. But you can't keep getting rid of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, and hopefully, they're going to raise the salary cap next year, right?
Oh, every year.
I'm pretty sure they are, right?
Unless the league takes it. Well, we regressed in 2020, right? Pandemic year.
Do we have any idea how much more they're going to up it at all, or no?
It's based on NFL revenue. That can't be called early. It has to wait until the year's over and they count the numbers.
Wow. Well, it's going to be up there.
Yeah.
Got to be, right?
Well, yeah, you got to make sure Travis Kelce and Tay stay together. But can you imagine the league gets behind that whole relationship? Hey, Travis, Roger Goodell, how you doing? Why are you calling me?
Speaking of,
we want to know about you. How you and Tay doing? Did you call her Tay?
Hey, speaking of couples, what happened with CMC's contract, right? How that went down?
Yeah, he wanted to.
So he got his wedding bill and went, holy fucking! I gotta get another contract because this wedding is out of control, brother. Come on, Niners, help me out.
Pretty elaborate.
These beautiful 49er women ain't cheap, and you know it. That's Jennifer Montana.
Brian, we gotta go. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow. All right.
All right. Hey, shout out to Ray Jr. He's cooking Ramelia.
Hey,
like
Ray.
A cheap steak. And Tony Wright. And my girl Nikita and her awesome dad, Michael.
Yeah.
And hey, Ellis, you're the man. Tony, Big Show, and Jalen, my two little whiners. Love you both.
All right.
Everybody have a good night.
You too, Brian.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you tomorrow. Night. Are you ready for the comedy relief that we all get a kick out of? He is that man from Los Angeles. He is marketing pro.
Yo, Ronbo, what it do, player. Shout out to Ronbo Sports. You're about to hit that 30K. You on that McVay, you know what I'm saying? You in that McVay mode right now. You're just winning. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, Marketing Pro. Well, Marketing Pro, we actually talk about you when you're not here. So, no, if you've got something to say, we can't wait.
Yeah. Marketing Pro and his team, and they got some new analysis about what's going on in training camp. Now, Marketing Pro know the score from the Big Apple to the Big Orange. And I called out that dog, Pearsall. He's been catching everything. Matter of fact, Kyle Shanahan was saying Pearsall is a dog. He catches everything. He's a master route runner. He's just been praising him.
Oh, yeah. And Pearsall doesn't catch the ball. Pearsall snatches the ball out of the air. So in them drills, I've never seen. Most guys got soft hands, and they just cradle it in. Pearsall jerks it out of the air. I said, I don't ever remember seeing anybody do that.
Rookie of the year. I'm calling it right now. Pearsall,
that ball was whistling in, too.
Rookie of the year. Pearsall, not only that, Pearsall will have about 7 to 8 touchdowns. And here's the other thing Marketing Pro predicted. Debo's been a dog in the camp as well.
Nobody's talking about that. It's funny you mentioned that, but Debo has been quietly asserting himself as, y'all can bring in Pearsall, you can re-sign Juwan, you can do anything you want to, but I'm the OG around here. He takes exception to bringing people in.
Breakout year. Debo's going to go off because Pearsall is going to get a lot of attention. Now Debo is going to be open for those trick plays. You know what I mean? Now they're not
that's
so
what he
predictable
does.
Because we all knew what you guys were going to do with Debo, that little reverse run, but now the game's changed.
Yeah, Debo was ineffective last year to his standard. I mean, your defense, even your defense, and you guys weren't really ready for prime time just yet, but you did a good job. But the thing is, other teams knew Debo was coming around that corner and were waiting for him on a numerous amount of occasions. And I said, that play is over. Nobody's surprised by that anymore, and they practice for it all week long. So it's time to change.
I'm telling you, man, Debo's gonna have a breakout year. But now Aiyuk is getting a little grit. I don't know, man. What do you think, Ronbo? Aiyuk staying or is he gone?
No, the 49ers realize they need him to get the job done. I just wish, they say they're so far apart. But the 49ers are always far apart with every big contract that they've signed the last 4 or 5 years in the month of May and June. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen in July, and because they try to wear down the player and the player's agent. I don't know if it's going to work this time.
Well,
but,
what I read was he took it as disrespect that they signed Jennings and CMC before him. You know what I mean? And he's the number one. That's what he believes. He's an elite receiver, and the 49ers kind of disrespected him by leaving him hanging this long.
I need to hear him saying that. And one thing Aiyuk doesn't mind doing, he'll get on a broadcast in a heartbeat, whether it's Kay Adams or whoever he talks to. He has no problem telling people how he feels. So if he felt disrespected, he would have said it by now. If you just read about it, somebody wrote that up. Because for the longest time they were saying things about him.
LA sports. So, but there is drama. I think the 49ers did try to trade him, and they didn't get back what they wanted. So
No,
now,
for sure. It was Debo they were trying to trade. I think they admitted to that too.
Something was going down.
Yeah. Couldn't trade him. They didn't want to keep both. It is true. The 49ers do not want to pay $55, $60 million on two players that aren't quarterbacks.
But I heard he wants $35 million. That's his asking.
Well, see,
price.
that's asking to be traded or just be left sitting down on the bench. The 49ers can't pay him $35 million. He doesn't do his job out there. He's not carrying the team. Jefferson carries the team. You can beat a team up by just Jefferson and play so
I'll tell you what, the Rams like to make an offer for Aiyuk. 2 third-round picks for Aiyuk, straight up.
You're not serious, then. You don't want Aiyuk that bad. Aiyuk's not going for 2 third-round picks. He may go for a second and a third, but 2 third-round picks is not enough. He's too good.
Now, on the Rams side, Mark and Pro got something for you, man. And 49er fans, beware. Gerard Verse,
Who is
the
that?
new curse in the NFC West. He's the new edge rusher the Rams drafted, the ones the Bengals missed. He should have been a top 7 pick. But you know what I mean? He's been just, man.
Wait, I've heard about.
Vila couldn't handle him.
I've heard about some edge rusher you got. What's his name?
Gerard.
Okay. No,
And you know what?
I forgot which channel I was
He's
watching.
the new curse in the West.
Yeah.
I see him grabbing Purdy, and Purdy just like, what was his name last year? Geno Smith said, "Oh, my God." Purdy had that moment, when they meet.
Brock, I promise you one thing right now. You'll never, ever hear Brock Purdy saying anything like that. It just ain't in him.
Well, we'll see about that. Because, Larry Legend Kruger has already predicted Rams sweeping the Niners. But now, I say the 49ers are the best in the West, but we're dangerous.
Wait, did you
Keep
say
an eye
Kruger
on
said
us.
that? Krug said that?
Yep. He said that we're going to sweep you guys. It's not for
Krug,
me.
every now
Larry
and then,
Kruger.
says some very strange things. This is one of those. You guys have come a ways, but I don't know if you're up to full strength yet. You need to keep that thing plugged in a little longer. You're like that Tesla that takes a little while longer to charge.
Rams,
Yeah,
Okay, here's what the Rams have. We have the best offensive line in the NFC, check.
No, wait a minute. Now, that's
Arguably
debatable.
the best quarterbacks. We got Steve, the Great Wall of L.A., Avila, best offensive lineman in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? And we drafted a bunch of pieces and signed extra insurance for Stafford. So he 49ers fans like, oh, Jimmy's going to jump in and start. Jimmy Garoppolo's going to jump in. Nah, man. We got another running back, another ace. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Dime, Stafford, he's going to be throwing no-look passes. He's going to have all day to throw. I really see us winning maybe 13 games. I got the Niners as the favorites, though, because I think you guys are going to get that Super Bowl unless Kyle screws it up. But don't count us out. You know what I'm saying? You've seen Rocky, right? You've seen Rocky?
A million times.
When
One of
he
my
fought
favorite
Clever
movies
Lane?
of all time.
Rams are the Clubber Lang this year. You know, we're coming to hurt people, and we're not going to be playing around. You know what I'm saying? And when you got top 5 all time, Matthew Dime Stafford.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
You always got a chance.
Yeah. Wait, you put him in what? You put him in the top
chat,
5?
Just if the chat agrees with Marketing Pro that Matthew Dime Stafford is top 5,
that's what I thought you said.
5, please.
Okay, we got to go. Let's. It's always fun. Let me take Dimes. We got to go. I'll be back tomorrow though.
Shout out to Ronbo Sports OG. Cheers.
Good night, Marketing Pro. Dude,
Rams Nation.
Just Tony.
Good evening, Ronbo. How are you?
Tony, after a bout with Marketing Pro, I'm totally amused. The dude be killing me. Marketing Pro is not like the rest of the Rams fans. He goes back and forth. He's not disrespectful, but he is funny. I can't get mad at him for feeling good about his team. He does stretch the truth a little bit.
He's a clown,
yes.
and he must have had a drink in one hand and a blunt in the other, talking about trading Brandon Aiyuk for 2 third-round picks. He out of his mind.
The 49ers are going to give it. They've already went through too much trouble. There's no way to give him a third-round pick. I think they'd rather pay him than let him go for that cheap price.
Exactly. Well, Ronbo, congratulations on signing, adding on 2 more years to Christian McCaffrey contract. He's still the highest paid running back, and he deserves that. I still say y'all got a weapon at tight end, Ronbo. Y'all 7th-round pick out of Oklahoma.
No, Willis.
So look at the film.
Yeah, I thought he was good last year when he was out there outplaying Latu. And I didn't really know what I was looking at, but I did know that he was playing better than Latu. Latu was dropping everything they're throwing to him, and this guy was tough. People were falling off him. He was tough. So I got all the confidence in the world with him. And I got 3 tight ends I can believe in now.
Latu can block, though, Ronbo, in your running offense. He can put people on their butts.
Is that right? Because you watch college ball.
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep.
Well, he's a big, strong kid.
That good?
Yeah, I would think so. That's why the 49ers went and got him, too, because they don't want George Kittle blocking all the time. If they can find somebody else that can take that chore, that's why they probably went after Latu. That explains a lot.
Yeah, yep. And today, the only thing I heard in football news today, we don't know who he was. A defensive lineman had went into cardiac arrest. He had convulsions in Kansas City.
I heard about that.
They canceled their practice. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
But they got him stabilized.
Oh, he stabilized.
Thank God they got him stabilized. It was a defensive lineman. I don't know who it was. They didn't say.
I'm surprised. I could see an offensive lineman do that because they're bulked up to a size where, especially this time of year, when they're not quite in running shape, where the session may be a little too rough. I'm not surprised a lot of them don't go down a lot more than that. There's a lot of overweight offensive linemen that are just big, but they don't necessarily move well, and that tells me their health is probably not that good.
Mm-hmm. They got to make sure these players stay hydrated, take breaks, drink water so they won't get a heat stroke.
And especially hot as it is now.
You remember that offensive lineman back in the late 90s, Corey Stringer out of Ohio State that played for the Vikings?
I remember that name.
That died.
Did he die?
Yeah,
You're
Corey
right.
Stringer. I remember him.
During practice, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In training camp.
And I don't know, the doctors, when they take physicals before the season starts, I assume they do, some of these things ought to be noticeable. But when it comes to big bucks, Tony, doctors will write that stuff off in a minute and say, well, there's no way to anticipate that kind of thing. Yeah, I bet you guys saw something that you probably should have warned him about. Okay.
You know how these owners are. Get them on the field. I want them on the field.
Yeah, I'm paying them too
like
much
you
money.
said, Ronbo, they're still human beings.
Yeah.
They're still human beings.
So worry about that all the time. But we sit there and we enjoy the games, and I love a good hit. But I always feel crushed when somebody's stretched out on the field. And when they and remember the kid, that wide receiver for the Bills a couple of years ago, when he was stretched out over there and he had died and the paramedics had found some way to bring him back? Man, I was uncomfortable with that. As you know what, we enjoy this game.
I was mad at the doctors, Ronbo, for them clearing him to play this year. He didn't play that much. They put him in a couple times. He should never play another down in the NFL.
Truly.
Put him in the front office or something. Yeah.
Well, then there's that. Because I'm saying, Tony, now, what does he do with his life? You know, some of these guys, that's all they've planned on, unfortunately. They didn't get a degree. They went, you know, they left school early for the draft. You know, it's just, they don't, all odds are stacked against them unless they succeed. So, yeah, and you can't put everybody in the front office or give them a job with a team. So it's a really scary thing.
Yeah, but don't put them back on the field when they almost died.
Yeah, that's it. Death is worse than anything else, right? So, yeah, I agree. Damar Hamlin, that's him. Thanks, Kirsten.
Damar Hamlin, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Ronbo, they're talking about my running back. Talking about my running back being like Christian McCaffrey, which I think he's like Christian McCaffrey too, but I don't know if he can do all the things Christian McCaffrey does.
What's his name?
Our last year, first round pick, Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
Oh yeah, the guy with the name.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, that's a mustard, right? You know what?
We got to stick to the script, Ronbo.
Yeah. Yeah, don't start altering your plan.
To the script because we got Tyler Algier too.
Yeah.
The other running back who had 1,000 yards the year before his rookie year. You got to get him carries too.
Seems like you guys got a good run game because you had a good run game that year that you ran us off the field. Was that last year or the year before? Man.
That was the year before when Tyler Algier was a rookie. He got 1,000 yards. Yep.
And he did it with ease. So.
He pounds you.
You know, you got to have a balance now. That's why when people say, the 49ers just run the ball. No, you can't just run the ball. Now teams can set up and stop and run. You've got to. It's got to be a surprise. It's got to be those plays that totally fool the defense at least 30 or 40% of the time. The rest of the time, the guys like Christian McCaffrey, even Algier, and either of these premier running backs, they can do it on their own, but you're not going to get them out there all day long running 35 and 40 carries. That's going to ruin your chances for him to last the whole season.
No.
So.
Got to mix it up.
Well, you know, we got
Texas boy. We ran Texas boy out of the chat tonight.
he always comes.
On me, and I was getting on him. And then some other Niner fans, we ran them out of the chat because we started. I said, well, Texas boy put up Dak's numbers again during the season, 36-9.
I know Dak's numbers.
He puts Dak's playoffs.
Exactly. He puts Dak's numbers. How many of us don't know Dak's numbers? Also, when you know he never puts up? He never puts up that Dak never beats a team over 500. That is becoming a glaring statistic. And you know what that means? He's not beating any quality teams. I mean, teams that come in there below 500 is not something to be bragging about as far as his record goes. Something, you know what, guys? I don't know, man. Texas. How you brag about that?
He refused to put up Dak's numbers in 2022 because that's the year he led the league in picks. He wouldn't put them up then. I'm going to take Texas boy. What did Dak do in the playoff game against Green Bay? I'm waiting.
That was one of the worst.
Go to something else. I'm like,
Tony,
then you guys, they almost gave up 50 points, Ronbo.
The game was too short.
You remember.
Tony, I got to tell you, man, that is one of the worst ass whoopings in the playoffs. When was the last time a team got beat like that in the first round?
I couldn't stop laughing. God, they
had to pull.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Tell you, they had to pull the Packers off of the Cowboys. Whoa, that was. Ooh, that's why I was concerned, and I was right to be concerned. And anybody thinks that the Green Bay's going to come in here and just lay down for the 49ers, I don't know, man. I really don't. This is. Oh, I don't like this. Sure enough.
Well, we know who the headliners are in the NFC, though. It's you guys, Green Bay, Detroit, and I still say Philly, but I say Philly tentatively, and then we're right below y'all.
All right. Hey, Philly. You know what?
It's still going to be good.
Yeah. What's his name? He's got to do some things. Tony, we'll see this year, though. I'm not sure if one quarterback in Philly is maybe a little overrated.
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, Jalen froze up in a couple of games. I didn't expect that. That game against the Jets was really tail.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other games.
Got to put heat on them.
Yeah.
Like any quarterback, got to put heat on them.
And also stop him from running, and that doesn't seem to be that difficult to do now. There's a design plan I've seen several teams do. Who was that really stopped Jalen? Jalen looked like he was afraid to run too. They set things up so if Jalen runs, they're waiting for him. So now he has to depend on AJ, and AJ's beating it downfield. And he hit him a number of times, though. Him and AJ were connected. But you're going to have to do more than that, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ronbo, they were talking about Aiyuk wants $32, $33 million? I know y'all ain't going to do that.
No, and Aiyuk, these things come out. Aiyuk never said he wanted to be traded either, and they say these things. So the media, you never know what they're talking about. They need to say something, though. They can get attention that way. You can say anything you want now. People will bite on it, especially if it's really negative, and making Aiyuk look make him look like a bad guy.
Well, I'm interested to see what you guys are going to do because you spoke about it with this last caller. Are you guys going to pay? But you already paid Debo, and then you pay Aiyuk. That's a lot of money for two receivers, man.
Yeah, they're not going to. 49ers, and the way the 49ers are about spending, that's not going to happen. So I don't know how this is going to end. Big Show could be right. I could be holding a celebration day for Big Show. Big Show slapped me. I don't know, Tony.
Well, we're doing our mini camp so far, so good. I just want everybody to stay hydrated and don't tweak nothing, get hurt, and just run your drills and what you got to do. So, the Eddie Goldman, who came back retired, he's going to be our second string nose tackle who used to play for the Bears. He's going to help us. Right. They're going to help teach that kid we drafted in the 6th round of nose tackle from Georgia. Yeah. We are deep on our defensive line. We ain't never been this deep on the defensive line.
Scary stuff coming up. And the Falcons might be back for sure now. Well, Tony,
I just want to see the Rams lose.
Yeah, well, that's not. Rams are fine.
Rams and the Cowboys.
Stafford can only stay afloat for a little while longer. What is he? Is Stafford 40? Near 40?
He's near 40.
Yeah. One more year, maybe. He is not Tom Brady. Tony, we got to
go.
On
him. You just put the heat on him, make him throw that rock. He falls in love with his arm.
He does.
Make him throw it early.
Overconfidence.
Yep.
Tony, let me see you tomorrow. I can't wait to get back and talk some more ball.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you're coming back in tomorrow because I was surprised when I saw you was coming in tonight. I'm like, yeah.
I messed up this week.
Christian McCaffrey.
Got myself into a situation I couldn't get out of, but we got today and tomorrow for sure, no problem.
Oh, you're a busy man, Ronbo. And Ronbo, congratulations on getting close to 30,000.
Well, thanks.
Hopefully by the end of the year you'll be at 50,000.
Yeah. That would be fun. Too much love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tony.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you, Ronbo. And all you Inglewood Rams fans, you are ass as usual. You're not going anywhere. Arizona will beat you. Ronbo, I will see you tomorrow, my brother. Have a good night.
Thanks, Tony. Night. Those are going to be the games to watch. When the Rams, the Hawks did have ownership on the Rams. I mean, the Rams had ownership on the Hawks. I wonder if that's going to continue now without Pete Carroll and the rest of those guys. Because there's something about Pete Carroll, I think, that also was an element that was giving the Rams all kind of problems, right? Or giving the Hawks all kind of trouble. If the Cardinals do muscle up this year, actually, as some of us already have this weird feeling about the Cardinals, we got to play them tough no matter what stage of development they are in. Kyler Murray, I'm sure Kyler's heard some things that Jalen said about him. And he's going to come in playing hard. Fam, thank you for the contributions tonight. Always appreciated. And please, subscribe so we can find you when it's time to have some fun and talking 49ers football. Don't be that like. I'll see you tomorrow. Niners!